So let's see which Uno first.
Bring it on.
Yes. Ooh, no! A wild card! Right, yes, back in the game. Yes! Ooh, no! I draw one card.
Uno. Better luck next time.
Have fun with your Uno cards. Does that one count?
Nope.
Oh, some fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 7th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Uno range comprises toys only while stocks last.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real life football.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
This football season, if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Max-free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum odds of 1.5 on minimum one leg. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
When the kids eat us out of house and home, we just eat groceries from Sainsbury's.
Yeah, shopping's here. Give me one.
When do they leave home?
Get Sainsbury's, Asda and Co-op delivered for free. For groceries and everything else.
Did somebody say just eat?
Participating stores. Minimum spend applies. Other charges apply. Subject to availability. See justeat.co.uk for details.
Don't break your stride. Get to Screwfix for the latest offers on the brands you love. Like the next generation, more powerful, more compact Milwaukee 18-volt twin pack. It's new and exclusive to Screwfix at just $249.99. And get those lawns in order with a Titan grass trimmer, now only $49.99. A saving of £10. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in-store. Delivery fees may apply. Prices valid until at least 6th of May, subject to availability. See screwfix.com for full T's and C's.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Everton versus Brentford live today, contract free with a Now Sports membership. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
Saturday night, live Championship football on TalkSport 2.
Hull versus Ipswich.
Kick-off 8 p.m.
The chance it's gone in!
Saturday night on TalkSport 2. Full of football.
Two massive opportunities for Diaz to put Liverpool in front. Still 1-1. On to Nunez. Nunez shoots. Saved by Pickford. And it's a vital one.
In the end, just important that you find the back of the net. We all know that.
Chance after chance after chance in the second half, but their finishing simply was not good enough. Finished at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Luis Diaz over the top of the bar from inside the box. How many chances have they missed? 27 opportunities on goal, 6 on target, and yet they still haven't been able to put this game to bed.
They just can't convert chances like they used to. It's Nunez with a header wide. What a chance, 7 yards out. And an opportunity is going to come. And Darwin Nunez puts it wide.
Absolute sitter. It's an absolute sitter.
I'm responsible for the mood the team is in.
That calls into question Liverpool's title credentials.
Welcome to Game Day Exclusive, live on TalkSport. We're here at the London Stadium. You can hear the atmosphere building up here as we gear up for our 12:30 kickoff. It is West Ham against Liverpool, and the players have been warming up on the pitch. They are just heading back into the tunnel. The last of the West Ham players there, just going to prepare for the game, which is imminent. The sprinklers are out. The atmosphere is building. Still quite a few empty seats here at the London Stadium, but I'm sure they will fill up very shortly indeed. Liverpool with a massive job ahead, of course. They've been squandering big chances, haven't they? And it's interesting to see the changes that Jurgen Klopp has made to the team today. Both Salah and Nunez on the bench, and as I say, squandering big, not just normal chances, big chances, especially in the last few months. Why is that, Sam?
Well, I'll try and sort of put it into context from a statistical point of view, and then we can pick it apart afterwards. But they've had the most shots in the league, yet they aren't the top scorers in the Premier League. And that is a theme when you look at the statistics. Liverpool have only failed to score in 2 games in the league all season. That's the best rank of the entire league. That's the best rank. so is their expected goals tally, the best in the league. Their goals tally from corners, second best, their best from set pieces, their third best from set pieces, but their shot conversion rate is just 11.3%, which in the context of the league is the 11th best in the league. So they've got more shots than anybody else, but their conversion rate is the 11th best. Now, that tells us what I think we already know. It reinforces the eye test that they're having the opportunities but not taking them. So who's the guilty party? Clearly, this is a finishing problem rather than a creation of chances problem. So you look at the usual suspects. Darwin Núñez missed a lot of big chances, the most in the league, apart from Erling Haaland. 26. He's got the worst disparity on what should be your XG and what is your actual goals total. It's the worst in the league. And he's also hit the woodworks 9 times, which is the most. But he is not the only offender. Salah and Luis Diaz are in the top 10 for that stat in the Premier League, missing big chances. And let's focus on one of those, Mo Salah, because he gets to the nub of the issue, I think. Rushing chances, trying to force it. That's what the stats suggest to me when I look at them, because before his injury, his goal record very good, shot conversion 22%, calm in front of goal, 15 goals in 21 Premier League appearances. Since his injury, just 2 in 7 Premier League appearances. His shot conversion, which was excellent, 22% before the injury and the aftermath, has gone down to 7.7%. He's taking more shots per 90 than he was before the injury, scoring less goals. Significantly, his touches per shot have gone from 15 to 9.7. Now that suggests that what he's doing is rushing to take lower quality opportunities instead of making the right decision, which clearly he was before. His figures are quite stark between pre and post injury, and I think they paint the picture of someone in a hurry.
Someone in a hurry, someone who is trying too hard, or someone who is just completely off form? Stuart Pearce.
He's certainly lacking on form slightly, there's no doubt about that. I think that's brilliant from Sam, what I've just heard there. I love things like that. It opens the door up for conversations. For me, if I was the manager of a team like that, I would say we're a near miss for getting things right. As long as my forwards are getting chances, not too fussed whether they're missing them. Hitting the woodwork 9 times, one individual, that is incredible. That's the difference. If all of those 9 go in, and they're marginals, by the way, he's top of the goal scoring tree, isn't he?
I mean, he would be very close to it. He obviously clearly has got something, he's got a talent. I think there's also a confidence issue with him, because if you looked at his body language, when he's fit, firing, scoring goals, go back to Benfica, the early part of his Liverpool career when he scored that wonderful goal in the Community Shield up at the King Power Stadium, he falls on the ball. He mistimes his run. He goes behind him. He sort of almost collapses when it comes into his body, and I think that makes him look more of a clumsy striker than he actually is.
We've seen, that front three that, were in their heyday when, Liverpool were in their pomp, when they were winning the league, when they were winning the Champions League as well. He's the only man standing from the big three, isn't it? Mane, Firmino and Salah. Do you think the fact that sort of big responsibility has been on his shoulders in the last few seasons has had a slight impact on how he is now, and that he's probably reached, as those players did as well, and they then left? Do you think he is reaching that sort of final point of his sort of run here at the club as well?
Well, there's been speculation about a move away, hasn't there, for Salah, and possibly. It's not easy, especially the way Salah plays. He's high energy, he's high dynamic, everything that he does, he's set his standards that high. When you've set your standards that high, if there's a slight drop-off, Fresh, it sticks out like a sore thumb, The one good thing Liverpool had at the start of this season, they had 5 players playing up front that were interchangeable, in the mix there as well. And you always felt as though with 5 so-called strikers or wide men that they would make them a very effective team. They have been, but they've just fallen slightly short because the standards are so high again this year.
The standards are so high, but as Sam really brilliantly pointed out, the stats will tell you a very different story in terms of the quality of where how Liverpool are doing in front of goal, and it is for that reason that today we won't be seeing Nunez or Salah in the starting lineup, and the starting lineups are now out on the pitch on either side of the Premier League hoarding. Liverpool to our left, West Ham to the right, which means the game is imminent because the bubbles are blowing here as well. Now Liverpool's boss and captain, they've been bemoaning 12:30 kickoffs, haven't they? The boss historically, Virgil van Dijk in midweek, but the stats will tell you that they've got West Ham's number. The Hammers have lost 12 of their last 14 Premier League games with Liverpool. They've failed to keep a clean sheet against them in 15. Of course, we know it's not been plain sailing for Liverpool either. They've won just once in their last 4 in the league. It's threatening to derail their title challenge if it hasn't done already. A swift turnaround could do very nicely. What an atmosphere, what a game it should be. I'm going to hand you over to our commentary team, the former Nottingham Forest, Manchester City and England defender and coach, and West Ham coach, of course, Stuart Pearce. He can shake off anyone. And TalkSport's chief football commentator, straight out of the tortured poets department. It's Sam Matterface.
Visit talksport.com/commentaries to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport.
TalkSport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it. In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. TalkSport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping them now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for 6. TalkSport 2.
Well, there's one ball and he's bowling. He's dragged it back onto the stumps.
Tackling live Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfectly pitched.
We're not allowed to cry on radio. We're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Masters Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hands, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. TalkSport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go to distance. TalkSport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it.
Bowl it.
Pass it. Hot it. Hot it. Catch it. You'll find it right here on TalkSport 2. The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it two?
TalkSport 2. Because sport never stops.
We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country.
Vuoi sapere quanto vale la tua auto? In modo facile e veloce online, inserisci i dettagli della tua...
Some up and down the country in League One. We're on TalkSport 2 right now. All of the ups and downs can be followed with Ian Danta and the team. Derby looking to earn promotion. Bolton looking to earn promotion. There is an outside chance that Peterborough could be as well. At the bottom of the table, Cambridge, Burton, Cheltenham, all worrying about relegation. You can follow it on TalkSport 2. We'll keep you up to date right here. Those games kicking off the same time as us. Well, football is a little bit like music. You can never have enough of it, and every match tells a story. This is the first of 6 live commentaries today. This weekend on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. It's football, the anthology edition. And Stuart Pearce, who prefers punks rather than the old or new romantics, how does the imminent breakups influence today's matches?
Well, I think we'll have a good game, a very open game today, without a doubt. And we talked a bit about Salah and Nunez. I think when the team sheet come in, West Ham and David Moyes will be quite pleased that they're not in the starting line-up, personally.
Well, Liverpool have the ball in those green and white quartered shirts, black shorts and white socks, attacking the goal away to our left, and West Ham United in claret and blue, attacking the goal to our right. Robertson with the delivery into the box early on, or headed away by Kurt Zuma and then cleared only as far as Cody Gakpo, and it comes back in the direction of the West Ham defence. Here's Gakpo again, just left side of the area. West Ham banked and bunched on the edge of their box. Just 23 days ago, Liverpool were top of the league, 3 points clear of Manchester City, 2 ahead of Arsenal, all having played just 30 games. Just 30, now 4 games later, the initiative has been surrendered, and only 2 Annie Power moments can open the door up for them again. Here they are right side. Edge of the box is Harvey Elliott, leaves it for Endo. Endo quickly onto Diaz, who skipped up in front of him so couldn't hit it, goes wider still onto the edge of the 18-yard box. Robertson trying to turn it forward. Endo then plays it centrally, where it's picked up by Virgil van Dijk, and then it's swept out towards the right side. And it's once again with Liverpool, they give the ball away. Paquetá looks to release Antonio and Kudus. And Kudus tries to scamper up to halfway but can't get there. It goes back to Alisson. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think we've got to understand about this Liverpool side. Yes, they got beat at Everton, but they created a couple of, point-blank saves from Pickford. Probably denied them early on in the game, and as I say, they had good chances within the game as well. So it wasn't as clear-cut as maybe a 2-0 Everton victory applies. That are the margins we're working to here.
Yeah, I spoke to Jordan Pickford after that game actually. He was pretty pleased, and I asked him about those saves, and he said, well, that is my job. Thought, well, fair enough. Underway on TalkSport 2 in League One. We'll keep you up to date with any of the goals as they go in. Wednesday night's result and that performance really, I think, set a chill down Jurgen Klopp's spine. He said he took responsibility because he's responsible for the mood of the team. The ball is deep towards the far post, and Gravenberch trying to keep it alive. He gets a half volley on the ball, but it's not directed towards the West Ham United goal. West Ham haven't really started yet. They have been on the back foot since the start of the game. And it was a half chance for Gravenberch at the far post. He didn't connect properly. He opened his body up, opened his foot up and sent it square instead of sending it goalwards.
Well, I'm not sure. Very, very impressive in these first couple of minutes, I've got to say. Their ball possession, getting players forward, manipulating the ball. And what they'll look to do is try and get Trent Alexander in that midfield berth on the ball to supply forward passes.
So Fowl races in from right back to pick up a loose ball in midfield. He sends it wide to Bowen. Bowen's cross into the box. There was a push on Antonio, but it's come through to Kudus inside the area, who goes past one challenge, stands up across towards the middle of the goal, and it's headed behind and away by Kwanzaa. Goes out and away for a corner kick. And the referee is just asking for a pause here, Anthony Taylor, whilst the VAR, who is Tim Robinson, just assesses what was a clash between Antonio on the edge of the penalty area and a Liverpool defender.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the varying styles of play here. Liverpool very direct in their own way, but their build-up is a little bit slower. As soon as West Ham got the ball there, the ball's in the box and the crowd get off their seat.
No penalty, and we play on as the corner comes in from Emerson on the far side in towards the near post, flicked away by Robertson, and then collected by Diaz, who sprints away to halfway. It comes across the body of Elliott, helps it on brilliantly to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He bends the ball forward, and unlike him, really, his ball into the box, which usually would be precise and perfect, he scuffed, and it was easily cleared away by Sofao. That was a bit of a let-off for West Ham, because they had players running in behind, and the right ball would have done serious damage.
Yeah, they certainly did. Diaz done brilliantly to secure the ball on the edge of the Liverpool box, and they swept up the pitch, and as you say, surprisingly for Trent Alexander, he couldn't find that pass.
Blackpool lead in their game away from home by a 0-0 at Reading, and Blackpool will be guaranteed a playoff place if they win at Reading, and at least 2 of the 3 sides above them fail to win in the table. And good news for Bolton, they've just gone in front away at Peterborough. They're looking to get promoted today, and they'll be promoted if they win and Derby lose with a 4-goal swing. Otherwise it's playoffs. Ball loose inside the West Ham United half. There was a tackle by Paquetá, which Virgil van Dijk really didn't like, so much so that he came running 20 yards to have a go at Paquetá for it.
Virgil's put himself forward as union spokesman just as of recent times, I see. And as I say, it was a poor challenge. I've got to say, looking at the still of it, he was late in his challenge.
It was on the top of the ankle of Alexis McAllister, who is very uncomfortable. And I must admit, having a second look at that, I can understand why Virgil van Dijk has gone up to plead the case of his teammate, his injured teammate, who's on the floor, because it was on the top of the ankle, that, and there will be a glance at it from the referee and the video assistant, I think. He was just sort of stretching as he got away from Endo, and then he just planted his foot on the top of the ankle. The issue here is that he's not above the ankle, which I don't think means that there'll be any issue.
Well, put it this way, challenges like that we've seen reds for, certainly we've seen a lot of yellows for.
Max Bird scores for Derby, who go in front in their game on TalkSport 2 against Carlisle, and they are looking for promotion today. A win will secure it from League One, and they will be back in the Championship if it stays like that. Derby 1, Carlisle 0. Max Bird after just 6 minutes of that game at Pride Park on TalkSport 2. Here it's 0-0 between West Ham United and Liverpool, and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson, two of the arch creators in this Liverpool team, are taking charge of this dead ball situation midway inside the West Ham half. It's towards the back post looking for Van Dijk, who gets something on it but not enough, and Zuma will see it behind. And actually I think it was Van Dijk who got the final touch coming at the far post, and it goes well wide of goal. If that was the case, that was an opportunity.
That was, as I say, what happened was Trent Alexander's just lofted one with a bit of flight on it, and Zuma was hoping just to see it out, I think, and open the door a little bit for Van Dijk to get round him, and he did and got first contact.
0-0, 7.5 gone, listening to TalkSport at the famous London Stadium, the big bowl that was used for the Olympics. It's got the claret carpet on it now as they try to hide the running track during the football season. It's still a great distance from where we're sitting at the front of the second tier. You probably call it the second tier. This is the one stand with 3, and the perimeter of the playing surface certainly jam-packed to the rafters, despite the fact that both these two teams will feel as if their seasons have taken a dent in the last 7 days or so. 0-0 the score. Here's Jarrell Quansah sending it out wide towards the right. The other imponderable, which might well have contributed to people not coming today, would be the freezing cold that has the unseasonable cold that has led Stuart Pearce of all people to be wearing gloves in April, which I'm very surprised about.
It's bizarre. I got my garden furniture out yesterday as well.
Did you?
And then woke up to drizzle.
Here is Endo, back to Trent Alexander-Arnold on the edge of the box as Shrewsbury go behind to Leyton Orient by 1-0 in League One. Here is Diaz trying to turn round the corner and feed the ball into the path of Gravenberg. It's then edged through the middle, out to the right. McAllister, who looks to get away from Alvarez, who's a little bit late on him. They generate yet another free kick.
Well, if you were worried about, if you're a Liverpool fan and worried about a hangover from midweek and how they might respond, I certainly think the way they've approached this first 9 minutes of the game's been very impressive.
What a great start to the first 9 minutes for Bolton, who are 2-0 up. Remember, they need a 4-goal swing and Derby to lose for them to go up in automatic places, so they're going goal crazy early on. 2-0. Here's Diaz trying to twist away from Zuma. Felt he was pulled down on the edge of the area. Wants a free kick. He's not going to get one from Anthony Taylor. I'm surprised about that, because it did look like there was a clump of shirt being held by Kurt Zuma as he twisted away Luis Diaz from the big central defender.
Yeah, he got far too tight to him then, and Diaz has done very well, I must say, in these early stages with his hold-up play and securing the ball for his team.
Well, he's the one actually playing as the point man, as the number 9, with Gakpo playing a little bit wider at this moment in time. Again, a bit like West Ham, they start in certain positions and they tend to float. Here is Gakpo into Robertson, back to Gakpo again. He's got the ability to carry the ball well, leaves it to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has wandered into midfield, and then Diaz sends the ball out towards the near side. Robertson sends it beautifully into the box. It might come through to Elliott, who strikes it into the side netting after initially Gakpo had risen. It just went over the top of his head, and Elliott coming round the back, creating a chance, and he'll probably see that as a missed opportunity. It was a tight angle, but it was side netting rather than the net rippling, which is what he was hoping for.
Yeah, as I say, he's got to come on and take that first time, which is exactly what he did. Maybe across the goalkeeper slightly better. But Jurgen Klopp there leading the applause for his team, and rightly so.
Been a good start by Liverpool. 0-0 the score. West Ham United, who in David Moyes' own words were atrocious in the first half at Selhurst Park last Sunday when they lost by 5 in the end, 5-2. And that was the word that came out of his mouth. The fans here will demand that they're better this lunchtime. They might get better now because they've robbed the ball on halfway with Bowen, who scampers forward at rapid pace, goes one way, then the other, then plays it down to Kudus. Kudus' ball into the box is blocked by Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it pops behind the way for another corner to West Ham United. So we played 11 minutes, and they've hardly had too much football in opposition territory, West Ham, but they have had a couple of corners and skirmishes, which might just keep Liverpool honest.
Yeah, they do look very effective, as I say, with the front three like they have, with Kudus, Bowen and Antonio given a sight, a goal and a free run. They will cause you a problem.
Here is the corner to be taken by Emerson, who was very good for them early part of the season. In towards the near post, Zuma tries to get a header on it, does, but it's not one that goes towards goal. It sort of flops between the edge of the 6-yard box and the goal line on the right side, and there was nobody there to capitalise for West Ham United. Eventually it squirms out to the near touchline, and it's away for a throw-in. West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0. On Talk Sport this lunchtime, Sam Manderface, Stuart Pearce here in East London, watching as Liverpool try to resurrect their form after disappointment in midweek, and David Moyes and Jurgen Klopp quite likely having to sign off at the end of the season, but wanting to do so in style.
I think I bumped into Alan Irvine, the chief scout, and one of Dave's confidants at the Everton game, and he would have watched the game and probably fed back how Everton done against Liverpool, you know, breaking the game up, momentum, balls in the box, set plays, and that type of thing they would have looked at, I'm sure.
Kudus just trying to get the ball into the box, prevent him from doing so. He'll go for a second go at it, and Alexander-Arnold doubles up with McAllister to stop him from getting down the left side of the area and getting that cross in. Endo pokes it away, out to Elliott, far side, and certainly that probably is going to be the way to approach it, isn't it? That physicality. Here is Bowen, edge of the area, left-footed shot, early shot, which is saved by Alisson. He won the ball in midfield, came to him nicely and quickly. He quickly turned it over, and Elliott playing a cross-field ball, which actually I think there was an influence from Thomas Souček on that as well. It came through to Bowen midway inside the opposition territory. He took about 2 paces and then thought, I'm going to hit this.
Yeah, the one thing you do know with the West Ham front three, if they get the ball, they'll turn up, they'll face up defenders, and they'll run at them. And that's exactly what Jared's done on the last couple of occasions. And at the moment, West Ham are attempting to wrestle some of this momentum Liverpool have got away from them.
Well, Liverpool won just 1 of their last 4 games. They've missed more chances than they care to add up, and they've struggled to stand up to physically dominant teams like Palace and Everton. They are a danger in behind, and Luis Diaz has just got in behind, and he tries to rifle a shot beyond the post, but it's well wide, and the offside flag went up immediately. West Ham, one such team. They have scored 12 headed goals in the Premier League this season. Only Luton and Arsenal have scored more. That might be their route to success this afternoon. And certainly Liverpool will try to get their speedsters into the game and trouble Ogbonna and Zuma at the heart of the West Ham defence. 0-0 the score over on TalkSport 2. League One's final day is in full swing at this moment in time, and the way things stand as we speak, Portsmouth are already champions, will be going up with Derby. The playoffs will be Bolton, Peterborough, Oxford and Blackpool. Here's Bowen down the right hand side. His cross into the box is blocked by Robertson. It's cleared away. At the bottom of the table, Burton are surviving. Cheltenham, Fleetwood and Port Vale will be joining Carlisle in League 2 next season, if it stays as it is, and it won't stay.
L'hai mai fatto un viaggio di gruppo? Noi di We Road li organizziamo in tutto il mondo. Puoi partire da solo, in coppia o con amici. Devi solo scegliere dove tra oltre 300 itinerari. Più di 100.000 persone hanno già viaggiato con noi e hanno vissuto avventure pazzesche. Fatti anche tu un We Road. Scopri tutti gli itinerari su weroad.it.
Post set sail there into the opposition half, and Alisson probably identified it a little bit too slow, to be honest with you.
football from West Ham United, who've slowly but surely wrestled back a little bit of control in the game from Liverpool, who dominated the early stages here but haven't taken the advantage. 16 gone, still goalless. And Arne Slot, who is the anointed successor to Jurgen Klopp, got a ringing endorsement from the man he's going to replace yesterday. Said he was excited by the prospect. If that was the case, he didn't confirm the appointment, but certainly alluded that that was going to be the case. And Virgil van Dijk, the captain, said he was one of the better Dutch coaches. I'm not entirely sure we should say too much from that. It didn't sound like a ringing endorsement, but the mood wasn't right to get excited at that moment in time. Everyone was still a bit deflated, I think, from Wednesday. Here is Gravenberch on the near side, the left, trying to shoot the ball towards the far post from a inside left position, but it's too close to the goalkeeper Areola, who makes an easy save.
Yeah, we're in the throes at the moment of probably a strong Liverpool band of possession for about 4 minutes, and then West Ham will get the opportunity to have more of a direct attack, which they forced a couple of corners from, and that seems to be the pattern of the game at present.
Here is Gakpo taking the ball out of the sky, good control. He's got space on the right side for Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he chose to go infield. It's more congested there. Diaz trying to take on Sofal, gets beyond him, pulls across through the box, but it's weak, and it comes off Zuma and goes behind and away for a corner to Liverpool, away to our left-hand side. He did the hard work there, Diaz, didn't he? Taking on Sofal, got the beast of him, but couldn't produce the final ball.
Yeah, I've got to say, give credit to Zuma. He's got his positional play right, and the midfield players are coached to fill up the middle of the box as well for any pullbacks. But Diaz is so full of energy. I like him as a player, I really do.
Yep, he is one of those whose batteries always seem recharged. Ball into the box towards the edge of the 6-yard area, cleared away by West Ham from that corner. Miskicked by McAllister, further away by Antonio. Kudos is putting pressure on Trent Alexander-Arnold, but pressure that he dealt with, and he turns and runs down the left-hand side. This is TalkSport. Ball forward by Trent Alexander-Arnold, looking for the run of Gakpo. Cut out by Ogbonna, who actually West Ham fans tell me is probably their most robust central defender, Angelo Ogbonna, even at the tender age that he is now of, what is he, 35?
Yeah, be about then. He's been here so many years now, but he's a smashing member of the club, and I know he's well liked in the dressing room. Good man.
Endo, who stopped the run of Kudus. I think his presence was missed on Wednesday night as well. Alexander-Arnold. I think the fact that they talk so glowingly about Ogbonna, the fans, would suggest that they're a little bit disappointed with some of the other younger, newer recruits into the back line. Mavropanos injured. Naif Agerd has had a season which has been completely interrupted, Stuart, by injury, illness, AFCON appearances. Hasn't been able to get into his rhythm either. Here is McAllister down the right-hand side. Zuma shows him out towards the far edge of the penalty area. Elliott gets it back in towards Gravenberch, who keeps hold of it well. Feeds Gakpo, edge of the area. Challenged by Kudus. It's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the box. Kudus ran across his man as Gakpo turned his back on the play and just caught him on the back of the ankle, and that's going to be a free kick 3 yards outside the box.
Yeah, West Ham have had to work really hard in and around the edge of the box to stop some of these Liverpool's attacks, getting weight in numbers instead of getting the fullback sort of isolated one-on-one. But this is Trent Alexander country. Really, if he could have placed the ball anywhere, he'd have probably put it where it is now.
Barnsley will be guaranteed a playoff place if they beat Northampton in League One. They've just taken the lead at Oakwell. It's Barnsley 1, Northampton 0. Remember, Derby winning and Bolton winning by 2 goals to 0 at this moment in time means that, as it stands, it will be Derby who join Portsmouth in the Championship next season, being promoted from League One. Herbie Kane got the Barnsley goal. 21 minutes on the clock. Trent Alexander-Arnold just outside the box, a shade left of centre, perfect for the right footer. There's a 4-man West Ham United wall with a draft excluder, and then Jared Bowen, who's just detached from the wall, standing about half a metre back and just right of it. Also standing over it, McAllister too, but it is going to be Alexander-Arnold to send it towards the near corner, but it's over the bar by about a yard. It's maybe just a little bit too close to get it up and down?
Yeah, I think so. That was probably the problem there. It's a big wall as well, you know, centre of the wall, Zuma and Souček. They're big bodies with a jump as well, so you've really got to get it up and down acutely, and he wasn't able to do so, but he's certainly got the ability to do so.
You're listening to West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0 on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Everton against Brentford live today, contract free with a Now Sports membership. Search Now Sports. Here is Antonio getting in front of Van Dijk, pitching the ball and feeding Boeing. Plays the ball into the path of Paquetá. Paquetá goes down under pressure from Kwanzaa. Now the referee played advantage when initially Antonio was fouled in a collision with Van Dijk. Then when the ball ran on, they wanted a free kick for the challenge by Kwanzaa on Paquetá, which wasn't forthcoming, and now Liverpool are attacking at the other end. That's why the fans are upset. Elliott sends a cross into the box on the right side, looking for Diaz, flicked into the air, and then it's picked up by Robertson, and then Diaz takes it towards the corner flag. I just wonder, Stuart Pearce, whether you think that in that moment, once the ball that goes out to the right-hand side for Bowen doesn't reach its intended target, do you pull it back for the initial offence, which he did play advantage for?
I thought he's top quality refereeing personally. I thought he got everything right. He's seen the foul by Van Dijk on Antonio. He's played on. West Ham had the ascendancy going forward, and once you get that, I think it's difficult to pull it back. It's almost another phase, if you like. So good referee.
Goodness, he's got space for Emerson over on the far side, the left. He didn't look before he tried to play the ball out to Antonio, and Trent Alexander-Arnold was in the way, and he didn't have the legs anyway to get any further than about 5 yards that pass. It was easily cut out, cleared away, and Liverpool come forward again. 0-0 the score, 23 on the clock on TalkSport on this lunchtime, this Saturday lunchtime, with a big day in the Premier League to come. Here's McAllister trying to play the ball down the left channel, looking for the run of Gakpo. Alvarez, who's been a really good acquisition, was fouled as he tried to pinch it, then worked out towards the left-hand side. The referee has now called foul, given a free kick to West Ham. A chance to reset. Yeah, it's a massive day actually in the Premier League. Sheffield United can be relegated today if they lose against Newcastle United. Big fixtures up and down the country for, I suppose, the likes of Manchester United need to keep putting points on the board for their European hopes. They take on Burnley, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Luton, Everton, Brentford later, and Everton-Chelsea at 8 o'clock tonight is live on TalkSport. And that's a big one for Aston Villa as they look to try and hunt down a Champions League place.
I think if Burnley go to United and get a result as well, that could change the dynamic of the drop zone. Sam.
Is that your tip up for the day?
It's not my tip, actually. I've gone with United, but
you're just thrown it out there as a possibility.
Out there.
Why not? He's just an agitator, this guy.
An irritator.
24 gone. Leighton Orient 2-0 away at Shrewsbury on the final day of League One. Ball out of play far side. Still 0-0 here between West Ham United, 8th in the Premier League, and Liverpool, 3rd position and 3rd favourites now for the title. Here is Alvarez out to the far touchline, back to Emerson. Emerson plays it against Elliott, and it goes out of play over on the far side. Oxford need to beat Exeter, and then they need Barnsley or Lincoln to fail to win. It's not going to turn out like that at this stage, but they have taken the lead away from home down at St James Park in Devon. Ball thrown in. That was a foul throw, wasn't it? Surely by Antonio did that. He sends the ball into the near post anyway. Somehow got away with it. I think basically once he picked the ball up, he just thought, I just keep running here until everybody forgets what happened just a moment ago. And it goes out for another throw on the far side. I think he probably needs to be a little bit more cautious with his technique. This one's going to be a longer one.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, if you're not sure what you're doing, do it quickly.
Ball thrown in by Antonio, flicked on by Ogbonna. It's loose inside the area. Kudus tries to help it on. It's going to go wide of the goal, and it goes out for a goal kick. But no doubt that they have identified those high balls into the box as a problem for Liverpool.
Yeah, it caused so many problems on Wednesday night. Everton getting first contact on near enough everything that come in the box. And I'm sure Jurgen would have pointed that out to his backline and been very disappointed with it. It's what cost them the game, basically.
Well, remember, no Mo Salah today, no Darwin Nunez today for Liverpool. And And Jarrell Quanta's come in at centre-half alongside Virgil van Dijk. And I think that's an endorsement of his attributes rather than the criticism of Konate's. Here is Endo through the middle of the centre circle. He loses it once, then wins it back again, gets beyond Alvarez, feeds the ball out to the right side, and Alexander-Arnold has sped Diaz, who sent it back into Gakpo. Gakpo's gone down inside the penalty area, and then there could be a handball anyway as the ball goes in, and offside means there's no penalty.
I'll tell you what, that was good fortune. If it wasn't for the offside flag, I think that is a penalty there. I think Areola bought... Who was it potentially down? I'm not sure. Gakpo, I believe.
Yeah, it was Gakpo.
Yeah, I definitely think there was a foul in there.
Luis Diaz is a smidgen offside. It will go to VAR and they will look at it.
You're right, Sam.
But there was a foul on Gakpo by, I think, Ogbonna, who then handled the ball afterwards when the second rebound went towards goal. He lifted his left hand up to almost like appeal. It was so far away from his body, that would have been a handball for a penalty anyway. So if it wasn't offside, they definitely would have got one of them.
Yeah. As I say, two penalty appeals there. Both of them potentially would have been given, but the offside, it is definitely offside.
You say definitely?
I said that the other night, to be fair, when it definitely wasn't.
Well, I think by looking at the monitors that we've got, it looks pretty clear that he is in an offside position, but they are going to Tim Robinson and Apple Pencil to do the lines. And we will wait to see whether or not it matches up with our initial assessment. David Moyes is getting advice from the assistant on this near touchline. It looks to me like it's very much an easy call to make, that. But you're best to make doubly and triply sure.
Indeed, that is, well, looking at the still, it's a definite offside.
Well, we're still waiting. I know that our intrepid producer Sal likes to put a stopwatch on these moments, and will tell us very quickly afterwards how long it's taken. We can tell you now officially it is offside, but we are waiting for that to be communicated to the players. It now has been offside, no penalties. There you go.
Yep. A bit of a let off there, I believe, for West Ham.
Just a little bit, because it was a good run in behind from Luis Diaz, but he just went a tiny touch too early, and that unsettled the West Ham back line, who committed two fouls, one with the hand, one with the feet. Would have been a penalty in one of those incidents if the offside flag hadn't gone up. It did, and as a result, it remains West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool have the ball deep inside their own territory. It's not the fervent atmosphere that you sometimes get here, maybe because many West Ham fans might feel as if their season is over, but it isn't. They've still got European football to play for. Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold bursting away down the right-hand side for Liverpool, into the box, a right-footed shot parried away by Alphonse Areola. Comes back into midfield and it's collected by Endo. Endo to Robertson, who's crosses deep, away by the retreating Emerson Palmieri. Back in by Trent Alexander-Arnold, into the box. Zuma gets first contact, but the ball's still not cleared. Agbonna manages to get it high into the air to get it further away, and then Kudus rolls Endo, turns him, was being pulled by him. He's going to get a free kick, and that's a yellow card for the Japanese international.
Yeah, counter-attack on there. Kudos trying to squirm away from Endo, and he just weren't having any of it and just pulled him back.
And that was the end of that. 70 seconds, the VAR time. Actually that bad, is it? 70 seconds, you can deal with that.
Seemed longer, didn't it?
Yeah, it must be the cold. 30 minutes gone here. West Ham United, who've survived a bit of a scare, now look to come forward with Zuma sending the ball high into the air, flicked on by Antonio, out to the left. Kudus, he's got anyone in the centre to send a cross into, so he waits on the left side of the box, goes back to Alvarez, and they look to build again. Alvarez looks up, launches it into the area, Paquetá with a decent run, comes back to Bowen, waiting for it to come down, didn't pull the trigger, so foul does, it takes a deflection. It's a good save by Allison, who went down and grabbed it just above his head. I just wonder whether or not Paquetá Paquetá could have gone for goal from the initial ball from Alvarez, which was brilliantly delivered over the top of the back line. He'd got in behind that defence and then decided to head it back towards Bowen rather than go for goal.
Yeah, Paquetá, I, like you, thought he could have chested it down and taken the effort himself. Just thinking to myself, I've not seen a deal of him in the game as yet, in an attacking sense. Just looked at Van Dijk, just having a go at Trent Alexander for not dealing with the initial diagonal ball and ducking his head down there and not winning the header, which created the whole chances itself.
31 gone, West Ham 0, Liverpool 0, but Liverpool, who have had the best of the chances, haven't been unbreached. They've had to deal with a bit of the odd West Ham skirmish, and that means that they have to be on their toes here. They have had a habit of conceding the first goal in games this season. They've conceded first in 22 of their 54 matches, which is remarkable. Here is Gravenberch approaching the edge of the penalty area. It's out left to Luis Diaz of Liverpool, who tries to go down the side of the box and take on Sofao, stands up well. The cross comes in, it's headed away by Ogbonna. Won by Endo centrefield, back to Robertson, and then it's into Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk to the left, collected by Andy Robertson, who'll be looking forward to going away with Scotland in the summer to the European Championships. Maybe Scotland will get a little bit further along in a major competition than they have before. It's been a difficult 12 months for them after qualification, but you get the impression that Steve Clarke will have them ready and raring to go. I saw Steve Clarke last night was at Queen's Park Rangers against Leeds.
That was some result, wasn't it?
It was some result. 4-0 to Queen's Park Rangers. It meant that Leicester were promoted from the Championship as a result. Here down the left side, Liverpool coming forward with Ryan Gravenberch. Gets to the edge of the penalty area, but he's blocked by Paquetá, won by Bowen, who's helping out his defence, and then Alvarez tries to stick the boot in the ball, goes to Alexander-Arnold, who keeps things moving. He's in the centre of the park when he plays it to McAllister. On the left is Elliott, his right foot, on the right is Elliott. His left foot is shot, goes into the near post, it's saved by Areola.
Yeah, really good play there, intricate passing. Trent Alexander into the edge of the box, then it was set out wide with really good pace on it, intelligent ball, and it just said it had a message on the ball saying to Elliott, come on and have a finish at this. But fortunately for West Ham, Areola got his position correct.
Only 3 goals this season for Harvey Elliott as Fleetwood go 2-0 up against Burton. Patterson with the goal. They're already relegated. They'll be playing in League 2 next season, but they're not doing Burton any favours. They might end up joining them if results go against them. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has wandered into that midfield position more often than not today, because Liverpool have had the ball and he comes in from the right back position when that happens. There's a lot of discussion about who plays alongside Declan Rice in the middle of the park for England. Would you consider Trent Alexander-Arnold?
You'd have to, without a doubt. I mean, his creativity is just incredible. You know, he is a defender, so he should be used to a defensive role. So he ticks that box. Kobe Mainu has done himself no harm at the last set of internationals as well. But you certainly would. His creation is superb.
What would be your concerns if you were playing him there? Because it's not a position he has played for years, for example.
No. Concerns, I still think maybe from a defensive point of view he's concerned, but his creativity and his ability to find a pass as a sort of quarterback, if you like, are his ace card. And for that, there are games where you're going to need somebody when things are tight and teams are dropped off and defensively difficult to break down. He is absolutely ideal with his range of passing.
Still 0-0 here, and Liverpool were playing out from the back, sent the ball long, intercepted by Sofao, and he's brought it out towards the right-hand side. Bowen tries to nudge it forward, but Robertson wins it back on halfway, and Liverpool now progress down the left with Robertson, the left-back, who bends across into the box, away by Emerson, headed on the edge of the area by Diaz to Gakpo. Gakpo juggles with it, then tries to get a shot away, takes a deflection, and it takes the sting off the ball, and it will be Areola's to go and chase out to the left-hand side. It'll be West Ham United who have the ball again. With 10 minutes to go before half-time, live on TalkSport this lunchtime. And we'll keep you in touch with everything that happens in League 1, where Derby are going to be promoted automatically if scores stay the same.
Can't help thinking with this game, Sam, that the first goal, I can't see whoever scores first, I can't see him losing the game as things stand. I think it's going to be such a powerful driver for either team that gets their nose in front at the moment.
It is West Ham 0, Liverpool 0 on TalkSport. We went Enterprise, rent a car. Enterprise has got 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Ball is on halfway, in no man's land with Robertson, who nudges it forward up towards Gravenberg. Gravenberg gives it away to Alvarez, who slides in front of McAllister, and it goes out on this near side. Important for West Ham to not allow McAllister to have the freedom to play. They've done that well. Endo's got a position in behind or in front of the Liverpool back line, which is basically there to detail and make sure that Paquetá doesn't get on the ball and make things happen for them, because he's got the ability to unlock doors. And so far, both of those two systems are doing their jobs.
Yeah, I think they need West Ham, if they can, find a way of getting Paquetá further up the pitch. I think he's done a responsible defensive job, you know, with Liverpool having the ball, but
Robertson's cross to the back post, takes a deflection, kept alive by Diaz, drops inside the area, and they say it's already gone behind, so we'll have a goal kick instead. You were saying?
Yeah, I just think West Ham need to find a way of getting Paquetá further up the pitch, closer to Antonio. At the moment, I'm seeing him probably 20, 30 metres behind him and not being able to influence the game further up the pitch.
And League One is on its final day. TalkSport 2, Ian Danta is the leading out coverage there. If you want to go and listen to it, download the TalkSport app. You can flick between TalkSport, TalkSport 2, Times Radio, Talk Radio, Virgin Radio with Chris Evans at breakfast as well. Easy to do, just download it from your app store and you've got all of the entertainment that you could possibly need at the touch of your fingertips. You can even watch the TalkSport breakfast show and White and Jordan, H&J and Drive on that device through the TalkSport app on a day-to-day basis. Barnsley lead by a goal to nil, key scoreline in League One. But Derby lead 1-0 against Carlisle. That's a big fillip for Derby County, who are looking to get promoted to the Championship. That result stays as it is, nothing else matters, even though Bolton have taken a 2-goal lead away at Peterborough. Here is Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. Forward it goes, into the path of Gakpo. Looking to turn here, it's dropped deep into the centre circle. West Ham have flexed back into a good shape, and then it's picked up by Alexander-Arnold, who bends it round the back. Again, Alvarez being detailed to watch McAllister, follows him out towards the far side. His cross is a deep one, which is going to be retrieved by Diaz brilliantly. He sets it up to the edge of the box, and Cody Gakpo sends the effort wildly over the top of the crossbar. It was a good bit of setup from Liverpool.
It certainly was. Great cross to the far post. And once again, Diaz, his first touch in holding things up for the team, albeit on that occasion in the penalty box, was brilliant. He set it off fantastically well. And Gakpo, he saw the press was coming from Souček. He had to try and bend it round him. And utilising the outside of his right foot, sadly got it wrong.
TalkSport, West Ham 0, Liverpool 0 on TalkSport with Super 6.
La vera abilità sta nell'affrontare un sentiero e proteggerlo per le generazioni future.
BF Goodrich, what are you building for?
Ham United, and this is going to be about 10 yards inside opposition territory, wide on the left-hand side, and they quickly want to get it forward towards Bowen. Endo heads it away, and they weren't really set for that, Liverpool. Endo did brilliantly to follow Bowen into the box. Sent forward again towards Antonio, who wrestles with Endo again. Again, the Japanese gets it clear, and Liverpool can move once more down that left-hand side. Diaz, who spent more time out there recently, tries to drill the ball back in towards the near post and hits the foot of the post. Comes back out of Robertson towards Elliott, fast stick, heads it across the face of goal and over the top of the crossbar. Well, that was brilliant from Diaz, because there didn't seem to be an opportunity on there. He cut in on his right foot on the edge of the penalty area. He drew the ball back down towards the near post, and he smacked it full on the meat of the woodwork.
Yeah, he did. As I say, he is the one player, Diaz, that looks as though he's going to break the deadlock in either team, to be honest with you. Really good play by him. When it arrives at his feet, it sticks, and he brings teammates in. On that occasion, come back inside. Souček and Kufel trying to deal with him. His shot went through Souček's legs and slammed the post.
Jurgen Klopp hoped to be coming here with the carrot of winning the Premier League. Still dangled in front of him, but that has, as he said yesterday, although he's not ready to give up or raise the white flag, it just feels like we're trying to catch up with something, and I cannot say that they still feel us around. And I think that feeling has sort of permeated some of the supporters away to our right. Even Liverpool, who have travelled in numbers, not making too much noise, making a bit more noise now as West Ham try to come forward. And Endo and Bowen collide in midfield. Endo is penalised. He has to be a little bit cautious because he's already gone into the referee's notebook, and it will be a free kick about 15 yards in from the right side, and a good 15 yards from the edge of the halfway line.
Yeah, they got a good opportunity to put the ball in the box. Last time they had a situation like this a couple of minutes earlier, Paqueta's played it before West Ham are ready, and it ended up having a shot against their own post.
Yeah.
So these are good opportunities, as they would have seen in the week.
Best to take your time over it and get it right rather than rush it, get it wrong, and then fall foul of the Liverpool counter. Here is Bowen into the box. Oh, and Souček had flown himself at the ball. He had took off from a standing start, an onside position, and launched himself, and it was only a couple of hair follicles away from connecting from the big check. If it had done, it might well have been a problem for Alisson.
Well, if he'd have got any touch on it at all and got it on target, there's no doubt it had plenty of pace on it.
Liverpool giving the ball away on the edge of their own penalty area, and then they've given it back, and then Bowen's got it, and he's tried to nestle it in the far corner. It's a save by Alisson down low to his right. Well, that was a real mess from Liverpool. Casual in the extreme. Virgil van Dijk is rollicking Trent Alexander-Arnold, giving him all sorts of rather vociferous instructions, but they've taken it quickly once again into the near post. It comes down off the defender and in, and Bowen celebrates. It's another Jared Bowen goal. It's another goal from a corner that Liverpool have conceded, and it's another time this season that Liverpool have gone behind first in the game. The cross from the left, they weren't set for the corner, they were still arguing about giving the ball away, Liverpool, and when it came in, it popped off the defender and Bowen came stealing in, and he snuck it in past Alisson, and West Ham United lead 2 minutes before half-time.
Well, incredible contribution from Bowen this season, his 20th goal of the season. Absolutely fantastic. He's better in the air than people give him credit for. They pick up the big boys, but Bowen is outstanding in the air and brave with it. And Liverpool have paid the cost for giving the ball away earlier. As you mentioned, Van Dijk was absolutely raging at Trent Alexander about.
Well, West Ham United have the lead. Jared Bowen has goal number 20 for the season. And that is a magical number. Strikers pride themselves on getting that many goals. It is the mark of true class to score 20 goals over the course of a season, and to do it in one of the hardest leagues in the world. Yes, some of those have come in Europe as well, but that's a tough competition to score goals in too. He will be very proud of his achievements, I think.
Well, it's interesting, Jurgen Klopp, just before half-time in, they've given the ball away again now, and West Ham surge forward. Jurgen Klopp will think that his team haven't done too badly, you know, and they just can't get their nose in front and can't come out on top as of recent weeks.
Paqueta trying to turn the ball forward. I mentioned before, that's now the 23rd time in 55 games this season that Liverpool have conceded the first goal.
Yeah, statistically that is so important.
It's been pitched again, Endo gave it away, and then it was played forward by Paqueta. Lovely turn by Kudus, who goes on the outside. He's taking on Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's beaten him, cut back infield, edge of the box now. Pokes it down the left for Paqueta again. Just wasn't the right ball from Kudus. After doing the hard work, the last bit just went awry, and Trent Alexander-Arnold was able to recover. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. At the other end, the ball has been sent long to Diaz. He's scampered into the box. He's gone one way, then the other, taking on Sofao, who's backing off a little bit. Zuma's come to join, and then he's pinched in Zuma. He's taken it off his toes, and he's launched a counter-attack, which he is still a part of. He's kept that alive as well, because the ball from Antonio back to him wasn't great.
When Kirk goes forward, he's like a runaway truck, and don't get in his way for goodness sake.
Yes, it wasn't graceful, but it was effective.
Indeed it was.
I think we could say he bounded towards the halfway line.
You don't know what his first touch is going to be like, but you know full well his second touch is a tackle.
West Ham 1, Liverpool 0. We played the first of 3 added minutes, and the goal came from Bowen just 2 minutes before half-time, and it was another set-piece goal for West Ham United, another headed goal for West Ham United, their 13th of the season. Only Arsenal and Luton have scored more headed goals this campaign. Jared Bowen getting his 20th of the campaign. Come on, you Irons rings around this huge bowl of a stadium with its white translucent roof held up by triangular floodlights all dotted around. An overhang from the Olympics. Here is Elliott down the right trying to get into an advanced position. It takes a deflection and goes out on the far side, and it's away for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area. West Ham 1, Liverpool 0. And so far, so good. If you're a fan of Derby County in League One, they lead by a goal to 0. That will be enough to take them into the Championship. They'll have 92 points and be uncatchable. Bolton are winning, but not winning by enough, and not profiting from the fact that Derby are dropping points. They need Derby to lose their game. That's not going to happen. Ball then descent down the right-hand side. It goes in towards the near post, takes a pump off the midriff of Harvey Elliott and goes behind.
Yeah, really good. Well, firstly, good contact by Ogbonna, but following up that was Elliott, and it slammed straight into him and cannoned over the bar. It's interesting. You go in at half-time 0-0, and you're probably thinking that it's Liverpool's ascendancy and they've been the better side, but the longer the half's gone on, the more West Ham have created chances, and they've taken one, and to go in at half-time, if that is the case, is such a big lift for any of the teams today.
Blackpool slipped to 8th after conceding a goal at home away to Reading. That means that Oxford take up position 6 at this moment in time in League One. Here is Kudus down the left-hand side, looking to nudge the ball back towards the far side of the pitch. It's taken down by Paquetá and then sent further down into the left wing position. Paquetá with a cross here. It's blocked initially by Endo, gets to the byline, he's still trying to keep hold of it, he rolls it into the box, it's cleared away by Liverpool, and then Diaz tries to get them on the front foot. We've played 3 minutes of added time, those 3 minutes have come to a conclusion, and West Ham United are determined to be the latest side to ruin the Jurgen Klopp farewell tour. Liverpool may have the back catalogue, but they just don't hit the right notes often enough anymore, and at half-time it's Jared Bowen who they are singing about. It's West Ham United 1, Liverpool 0.
Sam Asmo, thank you very much. What a goal for Jared Bowen to put the side ahead and give them such a lift that was badly needed, Stuart Pearce.
It certainly was. As I say, any team that was going to get their nose in front, the way the game was going, was going to give them a massive, massive lift. And I've just looked at the body language of Virgil van Dijk. You know, he took a strapping off and slammed it into the grass as he's going off. He's really, really frustrated. You could tell his body language. He's had a couple of verbals with Trent Alexander for not dealing with headers and that type of thing. And you just get the impression that, you know, he's a very livid man at the moment.
Yeah, well look, I mean, they've been putting in the graft 75... 5.5% possession for Liverpool in that first half.
Yeah, I think they played off, but the half is defined by who's winning, and they're not winning. They're losing the game again. And Klopp, I think, will be turning around and getting very frustrated. He's looking at his team, and on another day when their tails are up, you go in 1 or 2 up potentially. They've hit the post, they've had some good opportunities, they've had all the possession. But at this moment in time, it's just not working for Liverpool, for whatever reason.
Yeah, for whatever reason. I mean, they're ahead on every single breakdown that you can think of, whether it's total passes, 3 times the total of passes, accurate passes. What is that, 5 times the number of passes of West Ham? I mean, it is crazy that they haven't been able to make the most of those stats and, as you say, of that possession as well. But for West Ham, of course, this is a real, as we say, a real boost, and one that was badly needed, particularly with the uncertainty around the future of David Moyes. There are a couple of bits of breaking news, actually, regarding that West Ham job that have come out and potential successors for David Moyes. It looks like it won't be either Ruben Amorim or Julian Lopetegui. They were cited as the ones that have met the hierarchy here at West Ham. Reports in Italy suggest this afternoon that Lopetegui is actually close to joining AC Milan, while Ruben Amorim has had his say this morning regarding the trip that he made to London to meet the Hammers bosses. He said, it's quite interesting actually, he said it was a mistake. The timing was completely wrong. I'm always asking my players to be respectful, and I wasn't, even if I informed the club before. I'm so sorry, and I apologise to the fans, club, and players. What do you make of that, Stuart?
Which fans is he apologising to?
To the Porto fans.
Well, which, to be fair, no fans ever want to see their manager leave their football club, do they? And they don't like it. They're very loyal and whatever, and I can understand. Well,
it's about him making the trip to come and meet them before.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Anyway, he's put it out there, and that, I think, is also saying that he's probably not going to take up the job. I mean, that's just an assumption that I'm making, but from the way that it's been worded, it certainly looks as though he regrets making that Sporting Lisbon fan. Sorry, that's what I meant. Did I say Porto? I meant Sporting Lisbon fan. Sorry. Our producer Sal is correcting me there. Yeah, it looks like from the wording, certainly, it looks like he regrets making that trip to West Ham. I wonder if he'd regret the scoreline here, though, because they're doing well. They are a goal up against Liverpool. Liverpool badly need a response from that Merseyside derby defeat in midweek. Will we get it in the second half? It looks like everyone's heads are down at the moment, but they're certainly going to have to pick themselves up because of the big 45 minutes on the way. It's coming up after this.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Everton versus Brentford live today, contract free with a Now Sports membership. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
When it's lunch o'clock, I just eat the tortilla naked burrito bowl.
Oh, I didn't know you could get those.
There's a lot you don't know, dear.
Well, I know that shirt's not coming back into fashion anytime soon.
Touche.
Get tortilla, Subway, Pret, and more delivered. For lunch and everything else.
Did somebody say just please?
Charges apply. Check available restaurants in your area and opening times on justeat.co.uk for details.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
This football season, if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Match-free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum odds of 1.5 on minimum one leg. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Don't break your stride. Get to Screwfix for the latest offers on the brands you love. Like the new and exclusive limited edition DeWalt 100-year 18-volt combi drill with 4-amp-hour battery for just $119.99. And keep everything stacked and packed with a DeWalt T-Stack organizer at a great price of only $19.99. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in-store. Delivery fees may apply. Prices valid until at least May, subject to availability. See screwfix.com for full T's and C's.
Uno is now available in McDonald's Happy Meal. So let's see who can shout Uno first.
Bring it on.
Yes. Ooh, no! A wild card! Right. Yes, back in the game. Yes. Ooh, no! Draw one card.
Uno. Better luck next time.
Have fun with your Uno cards. Does that one count?
Nope.
Oh, some fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 7th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Uno range comprises toys only, while stocks last.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. So if you've got a plan, we've got a van.
Feel the passion and the pride of the Premier League.
Oh, it's a stunning goal!
Game day exclusive.
On Talk Sport.
This is Game Day Exclusive on TalkSport. I'm Reshmin Chowdhury, and here at the London Stadium at half-time it is West Ham 1, Liverpool 0. Jared Bowen with a headed goal from a Liverpool set-piece. Over on TalkSport 2 in Sky Bet League 1, it's also half-time. Derby County lead 1-0 against Carlisle, so they are getting promoted automatically in second place. What a day this could be for Derby County. Barnsley are beating Northampton by a goal to nil, and Oxford are winning 2-0 at Exeter, so both those sides are going to make the playoffs as things stand. Now, Cheltenham Town are losing 1-0 at Stevenage, so they're getting relegated as it looks at the moment. Burton are losing 2-0 at Fleetwood, so if Cheltenham turn things around, they can climb out of that relegation place. So many permutations, so much going on in the league. We'll be keeping you right up to date with all of it here on TalkSport, of course. For now, we're going to look ahead to today's Premier League action with Super 6.
The TalkSport Match Predictor with Super 6. Play for free. Predict 6 correct scores for the chance to win £250,000. Get your entries in by 3 p.m. today with Super 6. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Okay, we're going to look at the final 3 games on that Super 6 list. It's, of course, a free-to-play football game. You can win huge jackpots through your own knowledge. Simply predict 6 correct scores to win. This week, £250,000 is the jackpot. Even if you don't manage to get 6 correct scores, there are more ways to win with a guaranteed 5k up for grabs every single round. Stuart is going through his list because he was a little bit, just relaxing at half time.
I found it. I keep forgetting this is me.
It's all about you, Stu. It's all about you. Do you know, I'm sitting here and just out of the corner of my eye, I could see him just going, oh, hang on a minute, where is it? So you found it. We're ready? Okay, so let's go through the last 3 games on the list. We're going to start with our exclusive TalkSport commentary match, Newcastle United against Sheffield United. That follows us at 3 o'clock. What's your prediction for that one? A big day for Sheffield, isn't it? Or Sheffield United, I should say, because this could signal the end for them.
It is. We spoke earlier about them conceding 92 goals. I think at the end of the day they're going to be on the goals against column 96. I've gone for a 4-1 Newcastle victory on this one.
Heavy Newcastle victory for this one. Well, you know, Newcastle themselves are coming off the back of a disappointing defeat to Crystal Palace, of course, last week. But despite that, 96% of players are confident that they'll pick up the win this weekend against Sheffield United. So it's looking it's been doom and gloom, hasn't it, for most of the season for Sheffield United. But this could be the final nail in the coffin of their Premier League season. Meanwhile, also at 3 o'clock today, Manchester United host Burnley. Interesting one. Super 6 prediction for that one, Stuart?
Yeah, I've gone for a 3-1 Manchester United victory in that one. I definitely think there'll be goals in it. I think Burnley will score, but I can see United getting 3.
Okay. Over 250,000 entrants are predicting a 3-1 Manchester United win. Finally, this evening it's Everton against Brentford. So, what are you making for this one? This one's an interesting one because Everton look like they're safe. Brentford were in danger of being pulled into that relegation battle. It seems like both of these sides are okay, or are they?
Well, I think that Everton are definitely safe, and that win would have buoyed them up in the week. But Brentford, I think, have got a decent bit of form about them. I'm going for a 1-1 on this one.
1-1 on this one. Okay, Everton, of course, picked up that huge win against their rivals Liverpool in the Merseyside derby in midweek, of course. Liverpool here at the London Stadium still suffering from that hangover, it looks like. 60% of Super 6 players are actually predicting Sean Dyche's men to continue that momentum and get a win against Brentford. So that's going against your prediction, but we'll see how that one pans out. That's a 5:30 kickoff this evening. All of that is thanks to Super 6. Don't forget Super 6 has set up its very own TalkSport League, and you can sign up on the Super 6 website or the app using the code TALKS6, TALK S6, and you can also win £100 for topping the league every single round. Remember to get those predictions in by 3 p.m. today. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
The TalkSport Match Predictor with Super 6. Play for free. Predict 6 correct scores for the chance to win £250,000. Get your entries in by 3 p.m. today with Super 6. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Adrian Durham is at Old Trafford for us for Game Day Live. Adrian, how are you doing over there?
Reshmin, I am absolutely fine, enjoying the commentary of that first half. Liverpool decided not to take the title race right to the wire. Quite why, I don't know, but there you go. Strange
I
one,
know,
isn't it?
it's a frustrating one, isn't it? Especially because we were all enjoying this three-way title race so much, and they've just dropped off. And everyone thought Arsenal would be the ones after the defeat to Aston Villa in the Champions League exit. Everyone thought they'd their headband. They're still firing, which is not very good news for me being a Spurs fan tomorrow.
So they've got an easy game tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, easy. Stop this. I know, I can't do. I just can't talk about it. So let's talk about Manchester United against Burnley instead. Bit of a Jekyll and Hyde Manchester United, as we know, as they have been. Should really be their tagline, shouldn't it? Which Manchester United are going to turn up at home against Burnley today, do you think, Adrian?
It's a great question, and Eric Ten Hag was talking about how before the winter they didn't attack properly, and now since, after or during and after the winter, they are attacking properly. There's still lots of areas to improve. Bruno's stats say it all, 7 in 6 in the Premier League, 6 in 43 before that. So he's kind of he's the one player who highlights the upturn in terms of attacking play, but they still can't defend properly. And they've had injuries at the back, to be fair to them. I've got a funny feeling about this game, and I shouldn't have really. It should be a home win. But Burnley, looking for back-to-back wins for the first time in the Premier League this season. They've only lost one of their last 7 Premier League games. And I've been saying all season, Burnley are way better than people think.
You have been saying it, and you've been talking a lot about their recent form as well.
Yeah, but do you know what? I still look at it and I think it's going to be so hard for them to get out of it. Home to Newcastle, away to Spurs, home to Forest on the final day. It's just ridiculous. But they are working very hard for each other. I think they play some decent football. If they can cut out defensive errors, they will give themselves a better chance. But I don't think Burnley are down just yet. And I've got a feeling they'll get something in. And all 3 of the bottom 3 teams are playing today. Sheffield United, as we know, losing, they're relegated. One away win all season, they've been terrible. And Luton, last week, they got to Wolves today, but last week home to Brentford. Where that performance came from, nobody knows. Rob Edwards didn't know. Lethargic and poor. They have to put that behind them and go again today at Wolves. But that's a tough one for Luton today.
Yeah, it is a tough one for all of those teams in that relegation zone. Burnley, though, I wonder if there'll be a bit of poetic justice for Vincent Kompany. I'm sure he'd love to do something at Old Trafford. Adrian, have a great one.
Cheers.
Look forward to hearing you later on. As we can see, the players here, though, are out on the pitch at the London Stadium. Second half is about to kick off. I'm forever blowing bubbles is ringing around the London Stadium. So I'm going to hand you back to our comms team, Stuart Pearce, but first, Sam Matterface.
Well, it's the 150th meeting of these 2 famous clubs. There have been some crackers in the past, and a couple this season already that have got away from West Ham. The League Cup quarter-final where West Ham rested players and lost 5-1, the 3-1 defeat at Anfield. And the Hammers' last win here at the London Stadium was 3 years ago, 3-2, dramatic. And that was the only victory in 15 Premier League meetings between the two. Certainly not the most dramatic. Remember that extra time comeback from Liverpool in the 2006 FA Cup final? Yep, that was one hell of an afternoon in Cardiff. Well, they might not be as significant here this afternoon, but the 3 points that they will garner will certainly rev up their hopes of a chance of finishing in the European places, Stuart Pearce, and that would be crucial for the club.
Yeah, it certainly would. As I say, that has been the aim, definitely, to continually keeping the club in Europe, and some of these European nights here have been absolutely superb over the last couple of years.
Yeah, we've been lucky enough to feature them on TalkSport, and TalkSport too, and despite the fact that it came to an end against Bayer Leverkusen, I think they would probably look back at that. Liverpool attacking the goal away to our right in the second half, coming forward with Trent Alexander-Arnold, whose delivery is big out towards the far side, and Luis Diaz takes it down, sends it in towards Gravenberch over the bar. When he arrived late on the edge of the box, Gravenberch, and he cracked the shot straight through the middle of the 18-yard box, and it went over the top of the crossbar.
Super swisher play there by Alexander-Arnold to that man Diaz, who seems to be integral in anything Liverpool are going to do positive, and Gravenberch just come onto it, didn't he? And I think taking it first time was the right thing to do, but
just failed to get over the top of the ball.
Fascinatingly, Trent Alexander-Arnold was the subject of a bit of discussion in the press conference yesterday. I know he got a rollicking from Virgil van Dijk at half-time. There were no changes at half-time from either of the two teams, not surprisingly for West Ham, but I think you were looking as they were coming out of the tunnel to see whether or not there was a change. I know that Jurgen Klopp had sort of identified Trent Alexander-Arnold, saying he'd just come back from injury. Was it right to play him twice in a week? Probably not. He's not going to be at his best, but he's done it for a third time.
Yeah, as I say, I mean, he likes him, he trusts him, and his creativity certainly is a plus in Liverpool trying to get back in this game anyway.
Absolutely, and he showed his offensive qualities in that moment where he switched the play brilliantly from right side to left. Here is Gravenberch, edge of the area, who almost profited from it, finds Gakpo back through the middle of the park, and it's cleared away from the edge of the box by West Ham United, and then given away cheaply by Alexander-Arnold, hitting it against Quansah, who couldn't quite deal with it, and eventually they've got a bit fortunate once more and they've won it back.
Yeah, really loose in, and Antonio on turnover of the ball should have done so much better than that.
Here is Diaz on the left-hand side into the area looking for Robertson, and Robertson hits it on the volley into the near corner, and Areola got down but could only get just the merest of touches on it, and it squirmed through somehow. And it's 1-1, just 3 minutes after half-time, the worst possible start for David Moyes and West Ham United, but the team who have won more points from losing positions than any other in the Premier League have come back to level things up at the London Stadium. West Ham 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, all come from that giveaway of possession by Antonio. From that moment on, Liverpool swept forward with numbers, got numbers in the box, and on this occasion, West Ham couldn't get enough players around the ball to stifle the attack, and Robertson, with his second touch of the ball, put it in the corner of the net.
Good finish by him.
Very good finish. Yeah, as I say, wasn't the strongest of strikes, but certainly the precision in the corner was the one thing that got it past Areola.
Well, Liverpool have won 6 of the games that they have been behind in at half-time this season. 13 they've been behind in, and 6 of them they've come back to win. So there's every prospect of them mounting a comeback, a sufficient comeback here today. West Ham 1, Liverpool 1, live on TalkSport. And Kudus has a free kick on this near side for West Ham United, who are looking to immediately respond. It came from the kick-off. And it is away to our left as we look at it, and on the West Ham left. It will be swung in by Mohamed Kudus as Peterborough get a goal back against Bolton. Not that it will mean too much. It looks like Derby are going to go up into the Championship with not too much fuss. They're leading by a goal to nil. Here's Kudus in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Comes back out as far as Sofau. He hits it towards goal. And he looked very much there like a player who's never scored for West Ham United.
Yeah, just get it over with. Get it done quickly so I can jog back to my right back berth. That's how it looked. And as I say, good defensive header there by Endo. Done well. Good opportunity to put the ball in the box and cause Liverpool a problem. Maybe more flight on the ball was needed, I believe.
Interesting though for Sofau. He might not give you that goal threat from his own boots, but he does provide goal threats for other people. When you go back over the course of his tenure, his debut in October 2020, since then only Robertson and Alexander-Arnold have provided more Premier League assists as far as the set defenders are concerned.
Yeah, his ability to cross the ball from the right-hand side is absolutely superb. He stands it up, he rarely gets across wrong, he rarely hits the first man.
Ball in towards the near post, looking for Gravenberch, who's made a decent run into the box again. He's just feathered that goalwards. It's missed the upright and gone behind and away for a goal kick. But that was a little bit too easy for Liverpool to get up the pitch and cross the ball into the penalty area. And when it came in towards the far edge, Gravenberch just sort of wafted his right foot at it.
Yeah, the back line of West Ham held a high line, and basically Alvarez dropped in, and that allowed Liverpool to go in 2-on-1, and he should have done a lot better with the finish.
Sofau trying to get it up the pitch, but it's given the ball away, and now Gakpo brings it back, feeds the ball into the path of Alexis McAllister, and then he looks to get it back from Alexander-Arnold. It took a little deflection on the way through, goes behind the way for a corner kick far side, and it's going to be a Liverpool ball. And all of a sudden they've just started to turn up the pressure on the West Ham backline, and they've got to be a little bit careful here, West Ham, because after going in front and the mood being very positive at half-time, a second goal conceded in a few minutes would certainly change that.
Yeah, it's changed very quickly. The Liverpool fans have found their voice, and the team are looking a little bit more confident in possession.
Corner in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, glanced away by Alvarez, picked up by Ryan Gravenberch, and then sent back down the left by Alexander-Arnold into the centre of the 6-yard box. Ogbonna takes no chances and heads it behind.
I've got to say, the ball's come out to the last man, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and his margin for error to get this ball wrong is massive, and he's delivered it absolutely on the money, just floated it up over the back of Soufal, and Robertson kept it alive.
We've seen the two facets of his game today, haven't we?
Yeah, big time.
Here is Robertson in towards the near post. It's headed away by Kurt Happy Zuma, who gets up and heads it well outside the penalty area. Kudus' attempted further clearance comes off the Liverpool body and goes behind and away for a goal kick, and West Ham can settle. Those two facets I was talking about is the fact that sometimes defensively he can switch off, and that's why he got an absolute rollicking from Virgil van Dijk before half-time, and as they were coming off for half-time, and then his just ability to create chance after chance after chance with almost a laser-guided precision. It's obviously the yin and the yang, but I think the pros outweigh the negatives, don't they?
They do, yeah. As I say, on a bad day it'll cost you a goal in a game, maybe. On a good day, and there's more good days than bad days, he'll create a lot of chances for your team. And some of the through balls that he supplied in the Everton game, Sam, that we saw, Núñez should have done a lot better with, really.
1-1 on TalkSport. On TalkSport 2, the League One final day continues with Barnsley in front against Northampton, and they'll be guaranteed a playoff place if they win that game. Derby about to earn promotion if they win 1-0 against Carlisle. That's the scoreline as it is at the moment. Here's Diaz racing into the penalty area, setting the ball back to Gakpo, blocked by Ogbonna, who got across just at the right time to stop him from pulling the trigger with any force. He blocks the effort, it goes out on this near touchline and away for a throw.
Once again, that man Diaz setting things up. He really is playing well today. Robertson, great ball to him. And then as he set up play, he created the chance.
Gakpo, Gravenberch, great feet into Gakpo again, and Bonner does brilliantly to get involved. And then Kudus looks to race clear here, gets in front of Gravenberch, powers away. He was being pulled and pushed, and he wanted a free kick, and he's furious that one didn't go his way. And he bellows in the face of Anthony Taylor as they break away down this right-hand side. Liverpool come forward with Alexander-Arnold in offside position, and he sends the cross into the box. And Kevin Nolan, who has come off the bench, is going absolutely crackers at the fourth official.
Yeah, as I say, couldn't escape. There was the odd tug, both arms from both players. And to be honest with you, we're looking at a replay there. It's a foul. He's got his arm on his shoulder, and he had a fair point. Kudos.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, he's done quite well today, Anthony Taylor, but that was one of those where that should have been given as a foul. He had three players around him, and he definitely had an arm pulling him back from the shoulder, which was preventing him from getting away from Gravenberch. Disappointment for David Moyes. Ball sent long out to the far side by Liverpool, who have come back from a goal behind again. Into the penalty area, the ball goes from Robertson. It just took a little deflection which outfoxed everybody, forwards and defenders, and eventually West Ham scramble it to the far side. Robertson turns it to Gakpo. Gakpo down the left, looking for the run of Robertson. It's cleared away by Soufal. And Zuma, Soufal now trying to lift themselves. Stevenage 1, Cheltenham 1 in the final day of League One. What does that do to the table? It just gets Cheltenham a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer. One goal now, and they could move out of the relegation zone and possibly stay in the division. It continues on TalkSport 2. All the drama from the final day of the League One season. We've got the League Two season coming to its conclusion on TalkSport today. And we've got the thrilling race of the EFL Championship as well tonight. Hull against Ipswich. What a big night it is for Ipswich. Here is Gakpo again coming forward towards the edge of the box. He feeds it out towards Elliott. Elliott to McAllister. Then further out wide into Robertson. Back into the centre of the 18-yard box. Gakpo, Robertson. Robertson's cross blocked by Sofau. Picked up midfield by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, and Virgil van Dijk went in for a header which Paquetá looked like he was very close to nicking.
Yeah, he certainly was, and if he would have done, he would have been clear with the...
Per Paolo è stata Claudia la persona perfetta con cui allenarsi per la maratona. Il risultato? 3 ore, 57 minuti e 28 secondi. Alla grande, Paolo. Scegli tra milioni di insegnanti da tutto il mondo, valutati dagli studenti. Trova il tuo superprof su superprof.it.
Drastically, it's one of those that shouldn't really beat the goalkeeper, but just a little bit awkward to deal with. I've spilled a few of them in the West Fulham district.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you get criticised by your teammates for that? They wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare.
And a little bit of giggling from the opposition players as well. That was the worst thing.
Ball in towards the near post. Flicked on by Gakpo. Goes wide of the post. What name did you play under again? What was his name?
Jack Jensen.
Jack Jensen. What were you? What did you pretend to be? Were you sort of a Norwegian?
No, Russian cat.
A Russian goalkeeper.
Russian.
Yes.
In the days where, Russia was more than acceptable, in the Cold War era of the early 80s. They've fallen out of favour a touch at the moment with their actions and their foreign policy.
Yes.
But let's not go there.
If you do download the TalkSport app, though, Times Radio is available. Producer Sal was having a little bit of a panic there. Here is Gakpo. You and geopolitics, I'm not entirely sure that's a podcast that we should get into. Here is Elliott down the right-hand side, bursting into the right-wing position for Liverpool Football Club. He chips the ball up towards the far post, but it's an easy one for Sofau to head clear. Endo out wide towards the left, and then it's collected by Diaz. And almost a chance to escape for Bowen, but he didn't quite slide in time. Endo comes forward and then weaves his way in towards the edge of the box, looks to feed Robertson, and now a chance for a counter-attack. Oh, and they've gone backwards rather than forwards. Goodness, what are you doing?
He's been a little bit disappointing for me. He's had opportunities, kudos in the game, and he's not turned, faced up the opposition back line and taken them on enough.
11 of his 13 goals for West Ham have come at this stadium, but he's only scored once in his last 14 Premier League games, Mohamed Kudus.
He's interesting how he's lost a little bit of form in front of goal.
Foul over on the far side, a collision between Andy Robertson and problem for Jared Bowen, and I think there's going to be treatment required here. David Moyes on the touchline just folding his arms. Might be a bit out of puff today because it was his 61st birthday this week. He blew out his candles. It's been a bit of a week for birthdays. Mine today. I took you to the Merseyside derby for yours. Prince Louis had one earlier in the week. And also born today, I thought you'd like this, Samuel Morse of Morse Code, 1791. Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th American president, 1822. Lizzo.
Yeah. Glastonbury singer, yeah.
Yeah, please, good, yeah, you're in there. And weatherman Michael Fish.
Oh, Fish of 1987.
Yes. Have you got a year for Michael Fish?
Age-wise?
Yes, so what year do you reckon he was born in?
I think he was born in 1955.
Oh, you're being very generous. 1944, happy 80th birthday to Michael Fish today.
Wow, I didn't realise he was that old.
I forecast a bright afternoon for him. Free kick to West Ham United, inside opposition territory. Doing anything for your birthday?
It's gone, my birthday's gone.
I thought you had a birthday treat coming up.
Afternoon tea. We got a little bit of afternoon tea we're looking forward to.
And you're going to go and see one of your idols, is that not right?
Johnny Lydon, yes, next Saturday. Audience with. Yes, I've received that as a present. Looking forward to that. Listen to the great man.
Here is Emerson with the free kick, offside flag up. It's a free kick over on the far side. I thought you were very excited about it, and then you forgot what was happening.
Well, there's so much going on.
Yes,
I lose track.
I know. Free kick has been given to Liverpool because of the offside from the West Ham free kick, which is a real waste, really. Liverpool have scored a Premier League high 50 goals now in the second half of games and conceded a low of 15 in the second half. So it's got 50 goals in the second half of matches in the Premier League, and they have scored 27 goals in the final 15 minutes of matches. So West Ham will have to be very concentrated as we go deep into this game. We've hit the hour mark. It's West Ham 1, Liverpool 1 on Talk Sport tonight, and it is brightening up a little bit inside the stadium now. Brightening up for Derby, that's for sure. They've just scored a second goal.
I've got to say, probably a draw for both of these teams will be looked at as not a particularly good result in the scheme of things.
No, absolutely right. There's no way that Liverpool can afford to drop any more points, even though I think they've already accepted that it's over for them.
Yeah, and I think from West Ham's point of view, chasing a European place, a point potentially won't be a good result.
Not with Newcastle and Manchester United, I suppose, expected, and they might be wrong about this, to put points on the board today. They play Sheffield United and Burnley respectively. Ball is on halfway. Liverpool looking to push it forward. Diaz out towards the left. It's collected by Robertson, and then back out wide to Ryan Gravenberch, who's looking to get the better of Sofao, and he does that brilliantly, gets some space down the left, pulls the ball back from the byline, in towards Diaz. Diaz then centres across, Gakpo trying to juggle with it, gets away from Ogbonna the first time, but not the second time, and then they're rescued by Souček, who dips back in and prods the ball back to Areola. But Van Dijk lets the ball bounce as Antonio goes in for a challenge. He felt he was nudged off the ball there, Antonio, and wanted a free kick, as West Ham looked to escape with a big ball over the top. But he didn't manage to get hold of it, and it's cleared away. Back into McAllister. Gakpo inside the box just about. Away by Ogbonna. Another bit of rear guard action. The ball missed by Quansah. And then Antonio challenges Quansah for the ball. It goes out of play on this near side. It's a throw-in. Antonio nearly took out Jurgen Klopp, and his era nearly came to a premature end, because if you're clattered into by Antonio, there's not much continuing going on.
No, it was one of those. Antonio.
Here's an effort from distance from Gravenberch. When I say distance, it's 35 yards out. Areola's got close to it and tipped it round just in case.
Yeah, Antonio was raging about the earlier free kick not given, and he's run over and he thought, I'm going to shoulder charge Quansah off the pitch here, and Quansah just put the brakes on, and he went past him and nearly took his manager out. A comedy sketch there, I think, from the silent movie era.
Yes. Pep Linders and Jurgen Klopp in deep conversations. The corner comes in towards the near post, flicks into the air, comes back out to Gakpo. Oh, takes a deflection off Ogbonna and goes behind. Gakpo completely miskicked it. It hits Ogbonna, goes beyond Areola, and Liverpool have taken the lead. It's a chaotic and calamitous goal for West Ham to concede. And after scoring from a set piece earlier in the game, they've now conceded from one, and after being 1-0 up, they're 2-1 down.
Well, West Ham are the architects of their own downfall a little bit there. The ball come in the box, it was there to be cleared, they've not done that. The ball bounced around, it's been hit, it's not on target, it's hit Ogbonna in the midriff, shot into the goal via Souček. Really scrappy goal, but we've had a few scrappy. Well, that is scrappy.
Right, tell me whose own goal that is, because it could be Ogbonna's, it could be Souček's, it could be Areola's. It's hit all three of them.
Literally.
Pinball through.
It was pinball. It's gone here, there and everywhere. For me, I've no idea. I would give it to the Liverpool player.
Yeah, that's going to be an own goal for someone, an unwanted one. That is for sure. Ogbonna's top touch is on target, but does that count in the own goal rules? It will go to the disputed goals panel, I think.
And I think they'll kick it out of the disputed goals to somewhere else who can't make a decision personally looking at that.
Yeah, it was really mad, because actually Gakpo completely miskicks the ball, and it just hits Ogbonna on the chest, who's about 4 yards away from him, goes back towards goal, spins off the boot of Souček, who's on the line, hits Areola and goes in.
Yeah, it was a really scrappy passage of play, I've got to say, but Liverpool won't worry about that. They've got their nose in front.
Into the area, dancing into the box and getting a right-footed shot drawn low down towards the near post. It's stopped by Alisson.
Now, I think West Ham have paid the penalty for certainly not getting a grip of the game. Kudos and Antonio not getting and putting Liverpool on the back foot, and they're just coming forward time and time again now.
Peterborough 2, Bolton 2. Peterborough can't be promoted today, but they can get in better form ahead of the playoffs by getting something against Bolton, who are trying to get promoted. They're going to be going into the playoffs as well, because Derby 2-0 up are going to join Portsmouth in the Championship. Thomas Souček has been given the own goal. Here on the far side, the right, Bowen trying to get West Ham back into the game now. 67 minutes on the clock. It's gone very quickly from a positive West Ham atmosphere to a bit of a frustrated one.
Yeah, it certainly has. As I say, they come out and conceded that goal just after half-time to put them on the back foot.
Long throw into the Liverpool penalty area. Sent in by Sofau, flicked on by Zuma, didn't reach Emerson, was missed by Elia. Down the left by the byline, Kudus sends the ball, kept alive by Antonio. Will break on the end of the box here for Alvarez, leaves it for Emerson. They keep it alive sensibly instead of going for the Hollywood effort, which wouldn't have troubled Alisson. And then Ogbonna will get it back to his goalkeeper and play safety first. Areola will then chip it out to the right side, looking for Bowen. Bowen beaten in the air by Robertson, but he'll take the throw from that sort of distance and threatened to actually get things moving quickly. Didn't quite manage it.
And this is inspired West Ham to get on the front foot, probably for the first time this half.
Yeah, West Ham United 1, Liverpool 2 on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget, with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Everton against Liverpool live, Everton against Brentford live today, contract free. With a Now Sports membership, search Now Sports. Well, we're changing it again, by the way. Initially, my notification said Ogbonna, then it said Souček, and now Areola has been given it. That tells you, I think, the...
A straight... forward run there, the back line, we're looking at the replay, they're flat-footed, they're not on their toes at all, and Stan.
Souček heads the ball away, picked up by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Van Dijk forward, on to Gravenberg, helping it through. Kurt Zuma steps in, wins it back, collected by Alvarez, and West Ham come forward with 20 minutes left to play. Out it goes to Kudus, retrieved by Emerson. Emerson then back in field.
Well, West Ham will either get an equaliser or concede another two, the way things are going. They're a bit loose, leaving a few more players up the pitch, and it's giving Liverpool that bit more space to operate in.
Good touch by Paquetá, but an equally good bit of defensive play by Endo on halfway. And the fact that it is so open might mean that we get to see a little bit more from Paquetá, might see a little bit more from McAllister. We haven't seen on the ball as much today either. Liverpool know that by winning here today, they will temporarily go up into second position above Manchester City, but Manchester City will have 2 games in hand. Here is Kudus on halfway, looking to run through the centre circle. He's got Antonio to his right, but he's going to face up Kwanzaa, gets to the edge of the box and then runs into traffic, loses the ball. Elliott brings it clear. There wasn't enough West Ham bodies that got up with him as he went on the charge there.
No, and he's got to put the brakes on when he's fronted up by 2 players. He's run out of momentum. You've just got to keep the ball and bring a teammate in some way, shape or form. And just about sums his day up a little bit frustrating there.
Yeah. This will be 1 win in 8 Premier League games, should it stay like this for West Ham. And that means that spells like that give oxygen to those who think things aren't quite right here. Supporters who think that with Bowen, Alvarez, Paquetá, Kudus, they should be doing better than they are. Individually, those players have all got to perform as well. It's a similar sort of scenario at Old Trafford, where they take on Burnley today, Manchester United, in front of TalkSport's Cameron Pope.
Yes, no changes for the Manchester United side who beat Sheffield United 3 days ago, and once again, no Marcus Rashford in the squad. Casemiro will play as centre-half. Christian Eriksen gets another start in midfield, with Mason Mount fit enough to return to the bench. For Burnley, one change from their win versus Blade last weekend. David Datro Fofana starts in place of Charlie Taylor. From 3, Manchester United versus Burnley.
Antonio holds the ball up well from Alvarez's pass, sends it out wide towards the right. Sofal's ball back into the centre is too high for Antonio, and West Ham attack peters out as a result of that. Sofal recovers well to stop a Liverpool breakaway, but it's only momentary because it's then pinged out to the left, and Diaz, who dances his way into the box, a shot which is saved brilliantly by Alphonse Areola, wafting the ball away that looked as if it was heading over his head. I think he got deceived by the movement of the ball, and as a result of that, it looked to be going behind him, but he stuck out a big red hand and swatted it clear. Change here, and Ward-Prowse is coming onto the pitch. Who's he going to replace? We can't see from this
Thomas
right?
Souček on his way, I think.
Souček, yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
What difference will that make?
Well, you're lacking a lot of aerial threat, and Thomas does a lot of unselfish work blocking things up in the middle of the pitch, but you've got a master deliverer, an assist merchant coming onto the pitch, let alone his goal-scoring threat. So I think the game's become very, very stretched at this stage. You know, as I say, West Ham look as though on the counter-attack they can get breached.
Interesting to see what goal-scoring threat is available to Gary O'Neill at Molineux this afternoon. Luton, the visitors, in front of TalkSport's Dave Rowe.
Yes, Wolves make 3 changes from their midweek defeat to Bournemouth, and Mateus Cunha is back in the starting lineup. Doherty and Traore also came in. Santiago Bueno is out injured. 1 change for Luton, who have to stop conceding goals. Kabore is injured, his place taken by Hashioka. Adebayo is back on the bench.
Sheffield United will be relegated if they lose at St James's Park today. We'll get their for team news in just a second, but it's a good move by Diaz to get away from Bonner. He races from halfway into the centre of the pitch. Out wide towards the left is Robertson. And his low shot really should have been across to Elliott at the far post, who was unmarked. It didn't go there. It went towards goal, and it was cut out by Alphonse Areola, and it remains 2-1 to Liverpool. So Sheffield United trying to stay in the division. They take on Newcastle today. It's live on TalkSport 2. Here's Adam Bridge, who's your commentator.
2 changes for Newcastle. Kraft and Barnes drop to the bench. Livramento and Hall come in. It means a switch to a back 4 for Eddie Howe's side. As for Sheffield United, it's the same side that faced Manchester United in midweek. The same 11 are in the last chance saloon, live on TalkSport 2 from 3.
Here is McAllister just in front of the centre circle for Liverpool, who lead by 2 goals to 1 here with just 15 minutes to play at the London Stadium. Steered back to Kwanzaa inside the centre circle. We can go off to Fulham and down by the river for us this afternoon. Jim Proudfoot.
And Fulham make 2 changes to the side that was beaten by Liverpool. Diop replaces Tosin, who's confirmed that he intends to leave in the summer. Reed's in for Lukic, and Willian is back on the bench. Ezza's injury rules him out as a knee problem, so Elise comes in. It's the only change to the Eagles side that beat Newcastle as they seek a 4th straight win.
Thanks, Jim. And he'll be part of the team that's taking round the grounds from 2:30 with Adrian Durham, who's based at Manchester United today. And remember, tomorrow all the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the WSL on the Sunday session. We start at 1:30. Mo Salah and Joe Gomez about to come on for Liverpool. As we get towards the conclusion of this match in League One, I can tell you that Barnsley look as if they're going to get a playoff place. They're beating Northampton by a goal to 0. Derby beating Carlisle means they will be promoted. I'll go through the relegation situation in just a moment, but Kudus is dancing his way to the edge of the box. He's fed Antonio, then Paquetá is looking for the ball. Alisson's lost it. He's punched it into the air. It's come out to the right side. It's laid in by Bowen. Doesn't reach Paquetá, and it's cleared away by Liverpool. Back in by Sofal towards the far post. Alexander-Arnold with a header away. Emerson brings it down, shoots, and it's a brilliant save. Brilliant save by Alisson.
who bounced back up to dive to his left and stop what would have been a certain goal. Great chance for West Ham.
Magnificent effort there. We're right behind it. He's chested it down, and as it come up, he's hit it with venom, pace and swerve, and the goalkeeper done brilliantly to keep it out.
Here come West Ham again, buoyed by that with 13 to go. Jarrod Bowen into the box, delivering across. Antonio! 2-2! Rising highest in between the two centre-backs, combining with Bowen again. And Liverpool, who have a habit of conceding goals, cannot kick it in East London. West Ham 2, Liverpool 2, another headed goal from West Ham, another headed goal which is Liverpool's undoing, and that is why they will not win the Premier League. 2-2.
Well, I've got to say, Emerson's shot, it was cleared, but the danger wasn't cleared, and Bowen on the outside working his magic, coming in on that left foot, just lofted the ball into the box. He's come off the back of Van Dijk. And I've got to say, a wonderful... Sorry, Van Dijk, I've done you a misservice. It's Quansah. Great movement by Antonio. He's just come off the back of Quansah and just wrong-footed Alisson into the corner it come from. Great header.
Well, Mikel Antonio, who scored 5 goals in his first 7 appearances against Liverpool, but no goal in 7 games against them before today. Scored last week against Crystal Palace and is on the score sheet once more. Mikel Antonio with the goal, rising highest inside the 6-yard box, producing a brilliant, powerful header which was unreachable from Alisson. And they just had a bit of a warning sign. Emerson's effort, saved by Alisson moments before. There was a bit of West Ham pressure, and now this crowd feel as if they can go on and win it.
I think both teams here will think that they can win the game, and between you and I think we don't believe that the goal scoring's finished.
Certainly not finished at London Road, where Peterborough lead Bolton by 3 goals to 2. They were 2-0 up in the first 15 minutes, Bolton, and they've conceded 3 goals, and Peterborough are going to get all 3 points, it looks like there, and that will mean that those two will finish on 86 points. Both of them will have 86 points. And Bolton will finish 3rd, Peterborough 4th, Barnsley 5th at this moment in time, and Oxford United are sneaking into the playoffs as well. Here is Ogbonna, down the left-hand side, kicking the ball against the new recruit, Joe Gomez, who's come on for Trent Alexander-Arnold. That was one of the changes. The other change was the introduction of Mo Salah, who's come on for Diaz. And yet another change, Elliott going off and Darwin Nunez coming on. So a triple change for Liverpool.
I'm a bit surprised that Diaz has gone off. I've been quite impressed with him today. I think he's been at the heart of a lot of good things and dangerous things in the Liverpool attack.
Oh, it was Endo who came off for Nunez. Elliott still remained on the field of play. Ball out on the left-hand side, and it's with Gravenberg, who's had an influence on the game today. He takes it back and gives it infield. He plays a reverse ball into Robertson, whose cross is blocked by Alvarez, goes out for a corner. West Ham fans are taunting the Liverpool support behind the goal. We've got to concentrate on keeping this one out of the net after what was a calamitous corner the last time it came into the box from this sort of range. Robertson into the near post, Kurt Zouma away, Elliott wins a header, further cleared by Emerson, but it's not a great ball out towards the near touchline. It's whacked back in by Gravenberg. That's an easy header out by Paquetá, but they've got to get out here, West Ham, and they're just, again, after getting back in the game, settling there. He didn't, and the back marker McAllister gets there just ahead of him. Still, Joe Gomez wrestling with Kudus, and then Emerson showing his tenacity, following in on Gravenberg as he looks to travel down the touchline.
Yeah, both teams look as though they want to push forward and get this victory that's going to certainly help both of their causes. One for Europe and the other one putting some pressure on the two title contenders.
Yeah, Liverpool have had their problems with accuracy, putting away those big chances that they create. They've also hit the woodworks 22 times in the Premier League alone. But having looked at all those stats as we did in the build-up to this game, Stuart, the only thing it really told me is that there is a lot to work with there for Arne Slot, and there are things like pretty quickly.
Well, if you think Liverpool haven't got a good squad, there's no hope for most of the rest of the Premier League. They've got a fantastic squad with a lot of attacking opportunities.
Good ball by Kudus into Alvarez, the return ball not good enough. He went on the hunt down the left-hand side, needed a decent ball from his former teammate at Ajax, didn't work out that way.
Yeah, maybe the one thing you've got to curtail a little bit, maybe some of the goals they concede are a little bit loose at times, you know, dealing with straightforward balls in the box, that type of thing, Liverpool, but, you know, it's been costly for them today. It was costly in midweek as well.
Peterborough 3, Bolton 3. And Cameron Jerome has got the equaliser late on in that game. Seems like game of the day to be at. Here is Salah down the right-hand side, dancing towards the edge of the box, away by Bonner. He clears it away from the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's out for a throw-in. West Ham 2, Liverpool 2. Means that Liverpool losing further ground in the title race that no one really thought that they were going to be in after today. They'll have 75 points. Arsenal have 77 ahead of the North London derby. City will be second at 76. Here is Salah down the right, though, trying to change that into Nunez. He's missed the target from 4 yards out. And they're claiming it should be a corner. They're claiming there was a save. But Darwin Nunez is being told by Anthony Taylor, nah, you missed it.
No, I'll tell you what, that was Soufal. That was brilliant defending. He's got first touch on that. Nunez is waiting to tap it in the goal, and Soufal, I think, has got back and cleared it behind the goal. Wonderful recovery challenge by him.
Well, if that's the case, then the referee's made a major mishap because he's given a goal kick.
Yeah, I think he has. I think he's just got that wrong.
Ball cleared away by Alphonse Areola. Loose in midfield. The ball is with Gravenberg. Helps it on down the right, looking for Salah. Salah doesn't get there. Areola does. Lincoln 0, Portsmouth 1 is the latest scoreline. The champions in League One taking the lead late on against the team that were hoping that they were going to be involved in the playoffs today. Antonio trying to escape, but not going to happen. Chris McAllister was fouled in the build-up to it, and that's going to be a free kick. Emerson is the man who's penalised. How much of a foul was this?
Well, John will tell on that. It wasn't at all, actually, but the reaction of McAllister going on the floor has dictated the referee's decision, as it often does in the game nowadays.
Which you're quite happy about.
Yeah, I love it.
I've worked out.
Nothing I'd prefer more than an overreaction from a player.
Yes, I thought that was very much your thing these days. Here is Alvarez chasing into the corner as Gomez looks to try and get down the touchline and produce a cross. The slide tackle puts it out of play and it goes out for a corner. With just 5 minutes remaining, West Ham 2, Liverpool 2. I will mention those stats again. Liverpool scored 27 goals in the final 15 minutes of games, and they've scored 8 goals after the 90-minute mark. Their late show usually turns up, and here's a ball in towards the near post. Gakpo with a header, saved by Areola, comes back out towards Gravenberg. All the defender and goalkeeper have got in each other's way, and then Areola has launched himself into the air to catch the second ball as it popped up loopy into the sky, and he grabbed it.
You've got to say, there's been carnage defending there. A great header. Emerson's got the block in front of the goalkeeper, then another shot, then Emerson's got a block in front of the goalkeeper again. It is, well, very similar to that goal from Liverpool earlier. Certainly was. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, this is interesting.
Because Areola picked the ball up and threw it out to the edge of the box. Now, I thought that was going to be a play on. Gakpo then went running over to try and nick it off Areola because he felt that the ball was dead.
I'll tell you what, the referee's just made his own rules up here to cover his mistake, in my opinion. I don't...
And Gakpo could have pinched the ball and put it in the net.
If I was him, I would have done just then. He ran towards the ball, the referee blew his whistle and stopped him putting the ball in the net, because I think it would have caused more problems. Areola got up and was about to play on.
Now he's gone down saying he needs treatment. That's why he stopped the game.
I'm not sure about that.
So did Areola signal to the referee and say he needed treatment and needed to stop the game? Because the ball came out of the sky, he smothered it, bore it into his chest, laid on the floor, claimed that he was hurt but stayed on the floor. He got up, and then as he got up, being helped by Cody Gakpo, he walked away with the ball in his hands. He then threw the ball out, looked down at his shins. Then Gakpo went up and went to play the ball that was loose on the sort of just in front of the penalty spot. But before he could get there, Anthony Taylor thought, "I've got to stop this."
Yeah.
Blew the whistle.
I've got to say, you know when you think you've seen everything in football, that's new. I'm telling you, that is new. The goalkeeper's put the ball down, the game hadn't stopped, and Gakpo would have been more in his rights to go and put the ball in the back of the net. If I was him, I'd have finished it off and put it in the back of the net and said to the referee, "Tell me where in the laws of the game you're stopping the game now."
There was no reason for him to stop the game because there was no infringement. Here is Antonio trying to get around the back of Kwanzaa, who heads the ball out behind and away for a corner with 2 minutes plus injury time left to play. And a few West Ham fans are sensing that maybe there's a possibility of a late twist.
You just get the impression there is a goal in this game, and I've no idea what direction it's going, but you just get the impression there's going to be a twist in it.
They couldn't score a third headed goal here, could they? Here is the corner to be taken on the near side by James Ward-Prowse. He's pretty good at delivering balls from this sort of situation. Right-footed, it goes right under the goalkeeper, it's punched away, comes back out to the edge of the box. Salah looking to escape at speed though, and he does at rapid speed, and he's bursting away at pace. He's run half the length of the pitch, he's got Nunez with him, and he's played it well behind him. Comes back to Elliott, edge of the area. A shot into the far corner, hits the top of the crossbar. So close from Elliott for a winner in the 89th minute.
Well, Salah's done brilliant. He's run 70 yards with the ball and then give one of the worst passes to his teammate that you could wish to imagine behind him. Stop the attack. You thought the attack was over until it went to Elliott. He had other ideas, unloaded a brilliant shot, beat the goalie, smashed the crossbar.
In League One, Portsmouth the champions. Derby going up in second position courtesy of a 2-goal victory over Carlisle. The playoffs will be made up by Bolton, Peterborough, Barnsley and Oxford at this moment in time, who lead by 2 goals to 1. Lincoln trailing means that they will be in the final play-off place. At the bottom of the table, Cheltenham need a goal. If they get a goal in the final few minutes, then they will be safe in League One. Fleetwood already down, Port Vale going with them, and Carlisle already went too. Ian Danter will bring you the closing stages on TalkSport 2. Here, West Ham United have come back from 2-1 down after leading 1-0. To get what looks like a point, it will give them 49 from 35. There'll still be a point behind Newcastle. There's 5 minutes of added time, though, still to play. Here on the right is Gomez, getting the ball into the box. We've just hit the 90-minute mark. Liverpool on the attack with Mo Salah, right edge of the area. 2-2 the score on TalkSport. Out wide to Elliott, then back in from McAllister, deep to the far post. It's over the head of Sofao, goes out of play. What are they going to give here? Corner kick. Change, Szoboszlai coming on for Kwanzaa. So they're going for it in the final few moments of the game, Liverpool. They want to try and get 3 points that would take them, if they were to get them, into second position and level on points with Arsenal, who would have a game in hand over them. Szoboszlai comes onto the pitch, corner far side. Going to be whipped in left-footed by Andrew Robertson, the Scotland captain. He does so brilliantly. It's towards Gomez. The ball loose into the air, kept alive at the near post by Szoboszlai. Sends it back to the edge of the area, lifted by Gravenberg, very quickly claimed by Areola. And Antonio and Kudus immediately started to sprint towards the halfway line, but Areola had zero interest in getting out the park.
Well, I think Areola has probably not picked up what is needed in this game, and what was needed was an early delivery to win the game.
Yeah, he should have gone for it, shouldn't he?
Indeed, he should.
Antonio flicks it on after the ball eventually does come his way from Areola. Then Kudus puts pressure on McAllister, who kicks it out of play. Nolan, the West Ham coach, Kevin Nolan, wants to get things moving quickly and goes and wins the ball. Gets it back, throws it into the arms of Emerson. And Emerson will launch it down the touchline. Antonio trying to use his body, does use his body. Gets dragged to the floor by Szoboszlai. Free kick, 92 minutes on the clock. 20 yards away from the penalty area. A chance for James Ward-Prowse to deliver and put it into the chaos zone.
Yeah, for me, just go and load the box up. This is your big last chance. The bottom line is a point going to be helpful to West Ham in regard to trying to get into Europe? I think not.
No, Chelsea have got 3 games on them. Newcastle 2 and Manchester United 2. Here is Ward-Prowse into the box. It's away by McAllister. Drops for Edson Alvarez, who controls it, nudges it into the path of Kudus. Kudus again, whose touch has just been so scruffy in possession. And he's done some really good work, and then his final ball has let him down. And then there's been moments like that when it's come to him and he just hasn't been able to get it under control, and it sort of hit his back foot or hit the inside of his shin and bobbled away.
Yeah, he's not been pure clarity in his work today, it's fair to say, but I've got to mention as well, Elliott done well there, read which way he was turning, was waiting for it.
After 7 in a row as the ball goes in the box, well defended by Sofau. 4 wins from 12 after 7 in a row from Liverpool. That's the reason they've faltered. They've lost their consistency.
Yeah, indeed. As I say, a couple of players have lost a little bit of form. They've missed chances, as you mentioned earlier before the game.
Cheltenham heartbreak. They've conceded late on against Stevenage. They trail by 2 goals to 1. That will condemn them to relegation to League 2. Here's Antonio picking the ball up after a flick on. He plays it to the left. Kudus trying to get there, and Gomez read it. Ball wasn't right from Antonio, but Elliott has kept it alive and inadvertently given it back to West Ham. Paquetá going down the left. He's had it pinched by Szoboszlai. Throwing down by the corner flag goes Liverpool's way. That was a big chance.
Yeah, it was a big chance. Antonio basically has left a pass too short, enabled the player to cut the ball out, and Liverpool come forward again.
Yep, they're on the hunt maybe for a winner. In the 95th minute of the game, the final minute of stoppage time that's been allocated by the referee. It's clipped to the far post, Szoboszlai, away by Emerson. There's a problem for Robertson on the far side, but Liverpool keep it moving. Now, Alexis McAllister looks up, plays it wide. Elliott here. Would a goal for Liverpool change the complexion of their outlook going forward? Would a goal for West Ham completely kill it off? Scruffy from McAllister, allowing Bowen to escape. He's brought down by McAllister. That's going to be a yellow card for the Argentine, and a free kick. And they wanted to play quickly, and Anthony Taylor wouldn't let them do so. Robertson's gone down now, wants treatment, and that's going to slow the pace, and it will be just one last dead ball situation that West Ham get to play for.
Well, when Jared Bowen picked the ball up there, I don't think he identified, like you did a couple of moments earlier, that Robertson was in big trouble physically. His best bet would have been to run straight down his throat, push it past him and run. There would have been no recovery from him. He slowed down, he dallied a little bit, and then McAllister just brought him down.
Well, this is it. Last chance saloon for West Ham United. Ward-Prowse delivers a free kick into Antonio. Chests it down, tries to shoot, blocked by McAllister, and that's it. End of the game. Goes out for a corner, but the referee's already blown. The fans furious that they don't get another chance. They thought they should get the option to take the corner. It's not going to be forthcoming. There's an embrace between Klopp and David Moyes on the touchline. And although the love may not linger at West Ham, it certainly will at Liverpool. There may be relationships that are coming towards an end, but the respect will last. West Ham and Liverpool probably won't achieve all that they hope for this season, but when they look back on the Moyes and Klopp eras, they will do so with fondness further down the line. West Ham will still feel that they might be able to finish in the top 7. Liverpool's season, like their manager's time in the dugout, is almost over. It's finished. West Ham 2, Liverpool 2.
Sam Matterface, thank you very much. Yeah, by the looks of the players on the pitch at the moment, it feels as though this is a bigger point for West Ham. Certainly the Liverpool players only fractionally heading or pointing in the direction of their away supporters to clap them and thank them for coming over. It is the West Ham players who are still out on the pitch and thanking their fans here. Dominant display from Liverpool yet again. You can see Jurgen Klopp right now hugging James Ward-Prowse. He has made a point of heading to the West Ham players. Virgil van Dijk looks despondent, as does Alexis McAllister. It's not been a good day for Liverpool in their title charge. You've got to say it's all but over. Dominant on the pitch, dominant in terms of possession, in terms of shots. Pointed out pre-match, they just have not been able to convert those shots, which would then be converted into points. Salah and Nunez left on the bench before kickoff. Both came on. Salah with a heated exchange with his manager Jurgen Klopp. He had to be stopped from remonstrating by Nunez. And this is where they are now. They've won Liverpool in their last 5 Premier League games. Salah has now gone 5 Premier League games without a goal. For West Ham, though, this feels a lot bigger, as I say. 15 games they've played against Liverpool. In some ways has turned out to be a little bit of a banana skin, if not a full-blown one, for this Liverpool side, whose title charge, you have to say, Stuart Pearce, is over.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We felt that was the case before the game. But losing 2 points, potentially gaining a point, whichever way, won't be enough in the title chase this year. There's no doubt about that. The standards are that high with the other two. And they probably just faltered at the wrong time of the season. You know, you can almost see and feel the frustration around Liverpool.
Virgil van Dijk's walking with pretty much his head down.
Yeah,
back into the tunnel right now.
Salah went off very early. As soon as the game ended, he walked down the tunnel, and the body language of the Liverpool players is that of a real frustration. And as you say, it is what it is now with them. I think West Ham, whilst they'll be slightly more pleased with the point eventually, Liverpool are playing in a standard where they're playing quite well, but they've got this sort of soft underbelly that balls coming into the box are causing them a problem, and that was where the 2 West Ham goals come from.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool are in 3rd. They're a point behind Manchester City, who are then a point behind Arsenal, but Liverpool have played 2 games more than Manchester City, who of course have that game in hand. They play Spurs next week in midweek, and Arsenal, if they do beat Spurs in the North London derby, they'll be 5 points ahead of Liverpool, and it's a long way back right now. It's a team that's run out of steam, isn't it?
It looks that way, it's fair to say. Too many of their players have probably lost a little bit of real clarity and real form. You know, Salah would be one of them, maybe Nunez a little bit. At the front end of the team, where these players make a real difference, where your team can go 1 or 2 nil ahead in games and be very clinical. They're missing those chances and then conceding sloppy goals at the back, and that's where they're at.
Yeah, Salah was a man on a mission, wasn't he, with that break? That on the counter, just a few minutes from full time, and Harvey Elliott, of course, with an ambitious long-range strike, which then went off the bar. And I don't know if you saw it, Stuart, but there was an altercation between him and Jurgen Klopp as well. I'm sure we'll find out in due course what exactly that was all about. But he is a man who hasn't scored in his last 5 Premier League games. He's somebody who is not used to those sorts of levels. His standards are much higher. When you're a player like Salah and you're reaching the end of the cycle, probably of this sort of that group of Liverpool players, is one of the few that are still left. Do you think that's playing a part? Do you think he's now looking in a different direction?
Whether he is or not, I don't know, but you know what it's like when you've set your standards as ludicrously high as Salah has, then there's no doubt about it, you do get very frustrated with your own form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see what you
mean. You can see, we're watching
just
it
looking
here.
a replay of that, and the interaction between the players. Jurgen said something to Salah, and obviously he's reacting.